Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Otts here. It's Saturday morning. The Raptors beat the Houston Rockets last night in the Fred Van Vliet return game. Yeah, close game, though. Raptors up by 20 for part of the game. And then Dylan Brooks got a little crazy late, saying, I still kind of have ownership of this house. Like I said this before, that I own this house. This is my house, is what Dylan has said in the past. The Raptors didn't like that. In some ways, I feel like RJ and Kelly and some of the other Toronto guys coming here makes it kind of like, you know what, Dylan, you may have owned the Scotiabank Arena in the past on Memphis Grizzlies, but not on Houston Rockets, bro. No, it's not gonna be like that here. It's not gonna be like that. So the Raptors pulling off a 3-point victory over the Rockets last night. Fantastic stuff. I was at the game, saw a lot of interesting things on site that I'm ready to talk about today. And, of course, we got a preview tonight. There's another game tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So lots to do, plus a special unboxing. I have got the box from Trevor J in my hands right here, and I will be opening this box at some point on the stream, and we're going to see exactly what he sent me. We won't open it all up because I think there's stuff in here that needs to be opened further, but we'll at least see what he sent me today. The box from Trevor J is here. So we'll see that. So let's start it off the normal way with the preview for the Cleveland Cavaliers game tonight. And we'll do all the review of last night and the unboxing afterwards. All right, first of all, this is the thing. Now, in the year of 2024, the Cleveland Cavaliers as a team are currently 16-2. Isn't that incredible? When I went and looked at it, I was like, is this true? I was like, is this true that they're 16-2 since the calendar flip? Since we traded OG to the Knicks, they are. This is true. One of those two losses, guess who that was in this calendar year 2024? Us. That's right. The very first game we played this new year, we played the Cavs and we beat them. It was the first game with RJ and Emmanuel. And we came out gangbusters and we kicked their butt. Well, what has happened with the Cleveland Cavaliers since then is they've gotten their guys back. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, they're all there now. There's only one person on their injury report this morning. It's Ty Jerome. He had arthroscopic surgery on his right ankle on January the 23rd, and he's going to be out indefinitely. So, yeah, Ty Jerome's the only one on their injury list. The last time we saw them, there was Darius Garland on that list also, and so was Evan Mobley. They had quite a few guys, but now they're healthy, and they're very, very dangerous. They've won 8 games in a row, guys. They lost a game, and then they won 8 games in a row before that. So, yeah, like I said, they're 16-2 in 2024, and we beat them, one of those two. The Raptors are one of those 2 losses on them. So, hey, it's going to be a little different. Darius back. Darius is dangerous. Darius is annoying. He's annoying. And Evan Mobley and all his bullshit. Yeah, we got to be ready for this. This is going to be a top-notch Cleveland team. And in some ways, the Raptors have to be ready on the second night of a back-to-back. Now, it's a no-travel back-to-back. It's a home back-to-back. These are great things, but it's the Cleveland Cavaliers. At least it wasn't some crazy double overtime last night or anything like that. That's good. In fact, I was wondering, we're sitting in the stands. We're like, man, I wish they'd play Kelly. I'd like to see Kelly Olynyk's Raptor debut, but they didn't. And I think it very much is because it's a back-to-back. He comes in straight off the plane. Well, he's not totally ready. Why don't you sit and watch the game tonight first, Kelly? Why don't you and O'Shea sit on the bench and just watch the game today, and we'll play y'all tomorrow? In some ways, the bigger size of Cleveland is more necessary for Kelly Olynyk to be present in the lineup. So he will play tonight. We didn't get to see his debut last night, but Kelly Olynyk will be playing for the Raptors tonight against the Cavs. I'll put my money on it. Yeah, I would. And that was very deliberate. That, they had him dressed. They were available just in case, but in some ways it's a back-to-back. And, well, I think we can handle Houston. We did. We need you tomorrow when we play the Cavs. So Kelly Olynyk will be suiting up tonight and taking the floor tonight. Watch. I'll bet you money. The Raptors' injuries are only Marquise Noel with his left hamstring injury is still out. And that's it. Nobody else listed for the Raptors. We are fully healthy with our fully new team. And what was that like watching that new look Raptors? The trade deadline has passed. The confusion and stress over the uncertainty of what could happen is past. And now the guys are a little bit and can smile. Bruce Brown playing country music in the dressing room after the win last night. Yeah, he feels comfortable now. He feels like, well, Masai said he might keep me. He said he likes me, he might keep me around. So I'm ready for anything. Masai wants to trade me, I'll go. If he wants me to stay and play for the Raptors, I'll play for the Raptors. Well, you're playing for the Raptors, my man. And you're playing that country music. Play that old country music like grandma used to play. Yeah, all the press people were freaking out after the game last night, hearing country music in the Raptors dressing room. They're like, what is going on here? Well, we got a cowboy on our team now. Bruce Brown Jr., a man of ruralness in a very urban, futuristic city of Toronto. It's fun. It's cool. It's a dichotomy. It's a difference. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, let's get ready for this game tonight. And let me give you your ref report. That's right. I got your referees for the Cleveland Cavaliers game tonight. First referee, crew chief. And there's some interesting stuff I got to talk about with the refs last night. Mark Lindsay is our crew chief today. His 18th season out of Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. He is a referee mafia from the Pennsylvania area. His favorite TV show is Family Guy. That's right. He is the family guy. He has a family himself. I call him the family guy because it's all about his family. And he also loves that Seth MacFarlane cartoon show, Family Guy. So Mark Lindsay is the family guy. That's his nickname that I have for him. His favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption. He loves getting down to Dave Matthews Band. Yeah. Yeah, he loves that Dave Matthews. Favorite book, Can't Hurt Me. His favorite app is Apple Podcasts. He'd most like to visit Rome, Italy. He wants to take the family there. That's on his bucket list. And his hidden talent is spelling. I always found this really weird that he would put his hidden talent as spelling. This is good that you can spell. I think most people should be able to spell. Does this make you special? I don't know. Now, when you say your hidden talent is spelling, were you like some sort of savant in spelling bees when you were young, Mark Lindsay? Like, were you on the Scripps spelling bee with those kids on ESPN, like standing up there and chrysanthemum? CHRYS. Like, I don't understand. If your hidden talent is spelling, it's not very hidden. Like, if you're writing letters, we can see how you write, whether you're a good speller or not. That's not hidden either. And most people should be good spellers. Is this where our society has declined? That Mark Lindsay thinks spelling is a hidden talent? Is this how we've gotten to with our education system? Anyway, no disrespect, Mark Lindsay. I like you, family guy. You're actually a pretty good ref for the Raptors. You actually are. Today, he is our, let me see. He's the middle ref between the three. We win 57% of our games career-wise for his referee career. We've won 57% of the games he's there. We did lose the last time he reffed this year. And Cavs win 44% of their games with Mark Lindsay present. So it's 57-44, the split for the Raptors with the crew chief, Mark Lindsay. The second ref is Drake Lubba, Mitchell Irvin. Yeah, we love Mitchell. Mitchell's one of our favorite refs, although we've had a really bad year with him this year. But that's not really Mitchell's fault. I'm going to tell you right now. He's a good ref. He refs us right. But we lose in this year. That's why we've lost 3 in a row with Mitchell Irvin. There have been games that we should have won. We dropped the ball on that Mitchell's at. It's not that he's trying to hurt us. He's from New Orleans, Louisiana, his 10th season as an NBA ref. His favorite TV show is BMF. He likes the movie Coming to America. As I said, his favorite musician is our global ambassador, Mr. Drake. I never feel like that's a bad thing when one of the referees, their favorite musician is somebody who's in your organization. That's not a bad thing. Favorite book, Between the World and Me. He likes the char-grilled oysters to eat. He likes to be on that TikTok. He's most like to visit Africa, and his bucket list is skydive. Yeah, I love Mitchell Irvin, guys. I can't say bad things about him. He's the best ref for the Raptors today. Or actually, no, his percentage is lower than Mark Lindsay's and Leon Wood's now. Actually, he's the worst ref for the Raptors today. But normally he's the best ref. We win 54% of our games. Mitchell Irvin's refereed in his career. And then the Cavs win 44%. So it's a 54-44 advantage for the Raptors with second ref, even though we've lost the last 3 games he's refereed for us. The last ref is the former player, the longtime referee. This guy has more experience than the other 2 refs combined. That's Leon Wood. 29th season out of Columbia, South Carolina. Leon Wood played in the NBA. He played in the NBA for like how many games did he play? He played like 274 NBA games in the 80s. He was drafted in the same draft as Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, and Hakeem Olajuwon. He was the number 10 pick in the draft where Michael Jordan got picked after Sam Bowie. Yeah, favorite TV show is Law and Order. His favorite movie is the Black Panther movie. His favorite musician is hip hop. He likes hip hop. He likes to eat steak. His favorite app is Hulu, and he most like to visit Africa and Australia. Yeah, Leon Wood is awesome, man. He played in the CBA. He's a former player. He's a hard ass, but you know what? Listen, his stats with the Raptors are very good. He is one of the best long-term referees in the NBA to the Raptors in their existence. I mean, this guy's been reffing the whole time the Raptors have existed, and we have won under him 56% of our games over our whole entire history. If you look at our franchise win-loss percentage, it is 47%, something like that, 48, 47%. Well, we win 55%, 56% of our games when Leon Wood's around. So that's a good thing. We did lose the last game he ref for us this season. The Cavs win 48%. So the splits are very similar on all three refs. They're all right around 54, 55 for us and around 44 for the other team. So the final split with Leon Wood is 56-48 for the Raptors. All three refs for the Raptors today at home, guys, with the home crowd. Let's see if we can get Darko dinner tonight. We got 2 wins. We get the third win tonight. We got Darko dinner, baby. That's right. No Chuck E. Cheese, no pizza party. Give them steaks. Take them to Bella Bella. Take them to some really badass Toronto big-time restaurant, Darko. Because these 3 wins, if they get it tonight, they really deserve it. It's been a hard road to get to this point. So let's give them the fanciest badass. Take them to the tower, baby. Take them to the CN Tower and eat up in that restaurant that revolves around the ring of the CN Tower. Do it, Darko. That's where Darko dinner should be, at the CN Tower. Take them up there and show them the city and say, listen, guys, you got 3 in a what row? I'm going to give you the city. These are the views that Drake sings about. I'm going to take you up here and we're going to have good steak and lobster, and y'all are going to sit on top of the city up on the CN Tower. That's where I want you to take them, Darko. I know it'd be a pretty penny. It's not a lot of guys. Like, there's a lot of guys on the team, but I don't care. These 3 wins, if we get this third win tonight, it'd be so badass. This team has been killing everybody, the Cavs. So we need to beat them tonight. We really, really do. I saw some really fun things last night. I felt like the Raptors defense was amped up. Maybe it was just me and these little girls sitting behind me. I don't know what it was. We were yelling defense a lot. That's always fun to me. When I go to games and I start the defense chant right off the jump ball, and people join in with me. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh. I had like these enhanced sound speakers on the side of my loud, booming defense voice, this shrill voice of young girls behind me following suit after my leadership of yelling defense. And boy, I love the reinforcements. Thank you. Thank you, young girls sitting behind me, children that were screeching and yelling defense in time with me. I appreciate it. You are the future, and you have my heart. Let me just say, as a Raptors freak and a fanatic of the team, to know the youth are so enthusiastically getting loud and cheering for the Raptors the way they are, well, we training them right as they're young to get the beats down and the rhythms of the defense. Defense, yeah, they were really good, and they really did enhance my voice going defense and having the lower voice defense. Yeah, it was good. We were doing some loud stuff. Now, we got a critique of our crowd from some people saying, oh, the crowd's so quiet in the third. Well, we were kind of quiet in the third. We had a nice lead. And the crowd got a little lazy. But, through the first half, we were loud. We were very loud. In fact, I think that we had a factor in the Raptors getting their fingers on so many balls in the first part of the game. We got so many steals in the first half, so many deflections, so many times Gary Trent was getting in there and just being a shit disturber and getting that ball loose on the floor. And then all of a sudden, good things happening for the Raptors in transition. Lots of good things in transition in the first half in that game against the Rockets last night. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We had such good defensive numbers, and we're getting in transition, get those easy baskets. Boom, boom goes the dynamite. The Raptors get the lead and are winning, and I love it. That's what I want to see. So, yeah, good job on the defense. Defense. It was so good. It was so, so good. All right, let me check in with you guys in the chat, and we'll do the 5 stars of the game and review more of the game last night. There's a lot to talk about with the new acquisitions. There's all kinds of extra stuff going on all over the place. If I forget something or if there's a subject you want to talk about, please write it into the comments and bring it up so that it will touch my brain this morning and we will talk about it. I don't want to miss anything. And because there's so much happening with the game tonight and the game last night and all the changes, all the things to talk about with the Raptors right now, there is so much. I can't even, like right now, I want to tell y'all about Fred Jr. Yeah. Did y'all read about what Fred VanVleet said yesterday and the interviews during the day about Fred VanVleet Jr.? Yeah, I couldn't believe this. This touched my heart. Honestly, this made me feel like, holy crap, this is forever. Siakam is forever with Toronto. We know this. He said this. He professed this. He said Toronto forever. And we believe it, Pascal. You always have Toronto forever for you. Well, the VanVleet family feels the same way. Oh, my gosh. I might get choked up a little bit right now because I get passionate about the Raptors. You know that. And to hear that Fred VanVleet Jr. is still as passionate as I am about the Raptors, well, it just warms my heart. It's like Fred said, he's like, I don't, if I didn't want to watch the Raptors games, I don't have a choice at this point because Junior is coming to me and saying, Daddy, let's watch the Raptors. And I'm like, what? What is Fred VanVleet Jr. doing? The bond of his birth with our championship and the factor of his birth and his daddy's shot in the games that finished up the 2019 championship run. My God, Fred VanVleet's a real one. Fred VanVleet Jr. He said, Daddy, we're going to watch the Raptors. Okay, let's watch. I love watching the Raptors, Daddy. I was like, you know, I play for the Rockets. Now, I don't care, Daddy. It's the Raptors. I love their mascot. They're the best. And I know Scotty. I know Grady. I know all of them. It's true. Apparently, Fred VanVleet Jr. is a Raptors fan. And down in Houston, even though Fred plays for the Rockets, he's saying, Daddy, let's watch the Raptors. And he sits down and watches the Raptors with Fred VanVleet Jr., Fred Sr. Well, he doesn't play for the Raptors anymore, so he can watch the Raptors when they're playing. And I just think that's so cute. I just think that it's like Fred VanVleet Jr. is a real one. He is a real one. And we love you, Fred Jr. Oh, my gosh. And I'm sure Fred Sr. loves watching us, too, because he wants to keep track on his old team that he cares so much about. I mean, we gave him such a beautiful welcome back. The big, huge animation and the thing, the sign on the outside of the building say, welcome back, champion. Welcome home, champion. And listen, Fred loved it. He soaked it up. In some ways, he's better at doing the tribute return kind of stuff than Lowry and other guys. He came out there and he really soaked it up with the fans. He's wearing a nice Letterman red and white jacket, kind of ambiguously Rockets and Raptors colors. And he just stood out there and he soaked it up. In some ways, he was saying, I don't know how I'm going to react to this because it would depend on the fans. In some ways, he may have been worried we were going to boo him. And it's like, listen, nah, we can't boo him. Whoever booed Fred VanVleet at the game last night, you're not a Raptors fan. You're a piece of shit, is what I'll say. Yeah, that's what I'll say you are. Yeah, I'll say you're a piece of shit if you were booing Fred at the game last night. That's so stupid. Why would you do that? Why would you do that, you idiots? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. It was amazing. And he soaked it in. He loved it. He was so touched. You could tell Fred was so touched. And he got the real welcome back. We were on our feet clapping and getting loud. Yes. Yes. And you know what? I'm going to tell you more. You know, they did 3 tributes last night. They did Fred's first, right at the beginning of the game. First time out, Fred VanVleet tribute. Welcome back. The second time out was to honor Scotty Barnes for getting All-Star. That's right. They did a highlight clip of Scotty, and they said, we want to congratulate our own Scotty Barnes on getting All-Star. You know who was watching that whole entire highlight clip of Scotty Barnes and his All-Star achievement in that timeout? Fred. Fred walked away from the timeout with the Rockets huddle and walked over onto the court and looked up and watched the whole entire clip of Scotty Barnes getting an All-Star. And you know what he did after it happened? He clapped like this. You could tell he's so proud of Scotty. I don't understand the people that besmirched and slandered and tried to say all this bullshit about Fred, that he hates Scotty and Scotty hates Fred. This is such utter crap. You guys are idiots that pushed that shit last year. Because Freddie stood on the middle of the court last night when they honored Scotty for being an all-star, and he was clapping like this, like he had a hand in helping him to be who he is right now, like he is proud of him, even though he ain't got nothing to do with him right now at this point, other than he was a former teammate that played with him on the Raptors. I'm telling y'all, that's amazing. When I saw Freddie pay so close attention to Scotty's tribute video and then really was a big part, he wasn't paying attention to the Rockets. He wasn't listening to Udoka in the timeout. He wasn't even in the game mode. He didn't give a shit. He was back in Scotiabank Arena to feel it, to soak it in, to remember it again, because it's changed now. He's in a different city. He's doing different things on a different team. And to come back to the place where you only knew your team, the only place you ever played before you went to Houston, is special. It's important. It matters. And this is not like, it's business. I get it. He took more money to go to Houston, but there's a lot that's connected. There's a lot that matters. There's a lot of heart connection to this city and all the stuff that happened. Oh my gosh. Freddie loves Scotty, and people need to shut the up about the things that they said about feuds with them and stuff like this. It's so stupid, so dumb, the misreading of it like that. The third tribute they did that was in the fourth quarter. It was strange. They did a tribute to Dylan Brooks for winning the bronze medal at the FIBA World Cup with the Team Canada. And that, I know that's the only time Dylan comes to town. I get it. He comes to town for Houston, but you did it in the fourth quarter. And then right after they did that, he went crazy with his 3-point shots, bombing threes. Yeah, that's crazy. We honored him for Team Canada achievement, and then he proceeded to tear us up. Oh my gosh, that was so scary when Dylan started doing that shit. I knew it was like, all right, listen, I know Dylan and RJ were talking mad trash last night. And a lot of it has to do with whose house is this? It's like, look, RJ's going to say, look, I'm from this city too, motherfucker. And this is my team now. So you're not coming in here and taking this arena over like you did before when you were on the Grizzlies. No. And Dylan's like, you want to make a bet? He's like, I'm going to come at you and I'm going to try and take this. And it's like, look, RJ's like, no way, Jose. And in some ways, they didn't want to play Kelly because they wanted to let RJ stand on his own to hold the honor of holding the Canadian place and the Canadian holding it down against Dylan Brooks, villain Dylan, coming to win the building against us. Yeah, it's a high drama game. It's very fun to watch because we were winning by so much for most of the game. We felt good, and we didn't lose in the end. It got close, a little pressurized, a little stressful, but it all worked out in the end. And it was cool. It was awesome. I thought it was a fantastic game. I really enjoyed myself. And I feel like Adriana had a good time too. All right. Yeah. Let's read the comments. And yeah, the 5 stars, the boxing, unboxing. There's a lot to do today, guys. A lot to do. All right. Trevor J saying, good morning, Raptors family. Happy game day. Beautiful win last night. Let's get this one tonight. I'm all about that. Let's get dinner from Darko. This is how you do it, Raptors. You got to win tonight. You'll have 3 in a row. And I hear that you get dinner from Darko. If that happens, I'm all about it. He's got the whole squad on blast with Jakob. Fantastic game by Jakob last night. Holy crap. Trevor's saying, just popping by, but I got to go. Working since 6 a.m., getting all these beautiful ladies ready for the show today. Show flow opens at 11. So everybody have a wonderful day. Trevor, you have a fantastic, very, very smooth day of really good stuff happening. No snags, no problems. Everybody looks beautiful. Everybody looks great. The whole thing looks good. You do your thing, Trevor J, in your world of high fashion as a platform artist. You do your thing, Trevor J. You kick some butt today, and you do your thing on Fashion Week in New York. That's right. That's right. I'm proud of my commissioner of fun. You know what? On that note, let's see what he sent me real quick. Let's open this box up and see what's inside it. It's not an incredibly big box. I took the label off so you can't see his address or anything on there. Let's see what's on here. All right, let's see. He's saying I'm gonna be very happy. Let's see. All right, there's the packing slip. I don't need to read that because I don't want to see exactly what. All right, here's a box. This looks like a box of cards. This is Cosmic Sports Cards. This will be interesting. So if y'all follow the channel, there's a new segment on Wednesdays called the Wild Card Wednesdays, and this is my Wild Card Wednesday box. It's an old ticket box from MLSC they gave to season ticket holders for the 25th season of the Raptors franchise, and I've got all kinds of basketball cards in here. So on Wednesdays this summer, I'm going to take these basketball packs and open them up live on the show for Wild Card Wednesday. So, and I do reactions to who I get, and they're funny. I got some Panini cards in here. I got some NBA hoops, and now I've got some Cosmic Sports cards, and I'm not even sure what these are like. So they're going to go in the box for Wild Card Wednesday, and we'll see this box a lot this summer. On Wednesdays, I'll be opening up the stuff in the box. There's some more in here, I think. Maybe. Nope. There's just the cards. Very cool. Very cool. Trevor J., thank you for sending me a package in the mail of some sports cards. The Cosmic Sports Cards. I don't know what that means. I wonder if they're NBA cards or what kind of cards they are. I wonder if they have all kinds of tricked out graphics on it that make it look spacey. I don't know. I'm excited, Trevor. Thank you for sending the package. I appreciate you, my man. And as I said, have a great runway show today. All right, Bryce is in here. We got our Kentucky Raptor Freak chapter president. Bryce Lawson is in the house, holding it down in the K-Tuck, the home of Kentucky Wildcats, the great program that produced Emmanuel Quickly. Yes. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freak family. It's scary hours in the new era in Toronto with that beautiful team defense. 14 steals, 8 blocks. We caused 21 turnovers. Refreshing to watch. Yeah. Those little girls and me were loud, and we were really like, sometimes we bring that energy. You know, sometimes if the crowd comes right and we yell that defense early, the team is on it. I feel like it helps. It really does. Our building is a very good home court advantage. If the crowd is loud and they're doing good things, it can really be good. Like last night, we got really, really loud for the end of the game. Really, really loud. And that's the thing. I love that. Fred's return game, the crowd's so loud. And he's like, yeah, this is what I remember. This is what it was like when I played here for 7 years. This is how it feels. Yeah. Man, I was so proud of our crowd last night. We did a really good job. We honored and welcomed back Fred so good. We honored and we're so happy for Scotty and his all-star achievement. And then seeing the new guys on the sidelines, Kelly looks really happy. He looks really happy. Like watching him on the sideline. It's crazy. Like some of the stuff about Kelly Olynyk that I didn't know is, first of all, he said that he used to fall asleep at night listening to Fan 590 and Chuck Swirsky. And I'm like, holy crap, he's like me, man. I was doing that around the turn of the century too. Like I would be listening to Fan 590 late at night, Norm Rumenach and all that. Yeah, the late night vampire and Chuck Swirsky show. Yeah, get out the salami cheese, baby. Yeah, man. It's like that's how I know Kelly's a real one, Toronto real one. He loved Chuck Swirsky on Fan 590. He's like us. I'm telling you, in some ways, the things that we've unlocked with RJ coming home and being on a Raptors, it's gonna happen with Kelly too. In some ways, it's just something that hits different when you're playing for your hometown. And man, I really do feel like this is what Kelly said. Kelly says this is full circle for me. I grew up loving the Raptors. I grew up playing in my driveway. Like I imagine I was one of the Toronto Raptors when I was a little kid. And now I'm a Raptor. It may have been a long time in the league and all over the place, stops. And well, I'm here finally. And in some ways, it just is full circle is what he's saying. And he also said he wants to retire a Raptor. He said, if this is the last team I play for in my NBA career, I'd like to finish my career here. Man, Kelly's a real one. In some ways, I always wondered about Kelly because, like I said, he's been on teams against the Raptors in his career. I told Adriana yesterday, part of the reason why I don't necessarily like Kelly, or I didn't like Kelly until last summer, was because he had Goran Dragic status. He did. He was a dirty Heat player that did dirty shit to our former players like Kyle Lowry, Norman Powell, DeMar DeRozan. He was in those series just like Goran Dragic, taking dirty, cheap shots on our Raptors. And that's when I hated Kelly. I hated him then when we were in the playoffs against him and Goran and the Heat and all that bullshit. And then, of course, Kelly was on the Celtics for a while. Oh, my gosh. I hated Kelly on the Celtics. Oh, you punk ass Kelly Olynyk playing on the Celtics. Oh, you're gross. Yeah, well, it comes full circle. He goes through those bleh. And I was like, I seriously hated Kelly Olynyk until last summer, until I saw him play for Canada and get a bronze medal. I really was up until last year. I hated Kelly Olynyk. Now I love him. Oh my gosh. Now I love him so much because I realize now he's never hated Toronto. He's always loved Toronto and he just wanted to kill us. He just wanted to kill his hometown, just like Dylan Brooks. Just like Dylan Brooks. Kelly, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see you play today. In some ways, I wish you'd played last night because I wanted to say I went to the first game that Kelly played in, but I was at the first game that Kelly was a Raptor. He just didn't play. And it was the Fred VanVleet return game. But Kelly Olynyk will have his debut tonight, and everybody will get to see it. Oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome. Bryce, those defensive numbers were impressive. In fact, I'm going to do things a little bit opposite today. We're going to do the team stats first before I do the 5 stars of the game. The Raptors did not shoot as good as the Houston Rockets, and they still won last night. How did they do that? They shot 42%. The Rockets shot 45%. Well, they manufactured 10 more shots, and that is from those turnovers we're talking about, Bryce. That is from them turnovers. We got 10 more shots on goal, 95 field goal attempts for the Raptors and making 40 of them. And meanwhile, they got 85 attempts, and they only made 38. So they made 2 less shots than us. That's 3-point difference right there. So the turnovers matter. Getting all those steals and blocks really, really mattered. The 3-point shooting, they beat us at that category. They shot better than us, and they made more than we did. But we weren't too bad, and we weren't anemic at the 3, which was nice. We just had Manuel Quickly in particular making some very nice threes in this game last night. Free throws, very good at the free throw line for the Raptors, only missing 2 out of 19, and we got to the line more than them. So we netted +4 at the free throw line. That's definitely helpful, considering, once again, another indicator stat that you have to win usually to win a game was rebounding, and we didn't win that rebounding battle. They out-rebounded us by 7, and that's normally an indicator of who won. This whoever gets the more rebounds usually wins a game. Well, that's, they should have won because they had 7 more rebounds than us. That didn't matter. The assists, we didn't get to 25, which is weird. Darko said something about it after the game. He said, we did really good with the assists in the beginning of the game, the first half, but in the second half, we had a harder time passing because they were switching 1 through 5. The Rockets made a defensive adjustment at halftime, and they really kind of loused up our passing game in the third quarter. But we figured it out, and we held them off. That's the other thing. This game was good for experience because we had a big lead. And I know how Darko is when you get a big league like that. He said, no, don't stop off the pressure. Keep going. I don't care what the score is. Don't look at the score. Play perfect. Play the way you're supposed to, the way I always want you to. It doesn't matter how much we're up. Just keep going the same way. Don't let up is basically what he's saying. And that's important because Jakob actually talked about this too in his post-game interview, that in some ways the Raptors need to learn how to play with the lead and play aggressive still with the lead. Because one of the things he thought was the problem with them coming back so much and getting so close to us at the end was even when they were scoring, we weren't aggressive enough on the offensive end and taking it to them to make sure we scored at near the end of the game. So it's interesting how that all went with the game. The adjustments of Udoka were smart. They had a good effect in the second half for the Rockets, but the experience of the Raptors in getting this kind of experience where they got a team surging up and trying to take over the game and holding them off is so valuable. It's so valuable. And some of the games recently where we lost close games, we got to show that we can win close games, especially when a team is threatening and doing big things like what Dylan Brooks was doing last night. So very, very good learning experience for this team. And once again, if it ever is always, it's ambiguous what the Raptors' purpose and what they're doing this season is. It's like, look, we're winning. We're going to win. We're going to win more than we're going to lose. Bobby Webster said in the press conference a couple of days ago that we do want to get a play-in experience for Scotty Barnes and the rest of them. As part of the development and getting them more along in their careers, they need to have that taste. They need to have that experience. They need to get in there and get some meaningful games that means something and try and get in there and compete to win it so they can get further and get in the playoffs. So they're going to go for the play-in. I'm going to tell you that right now. This team can do it. This team is good enough. This team is competitive enough to go for the play-in. We don't need to be trying to mess around with this draft pick. In some ways, I'm starting to come around and say, you know what? Let San Antonio have this year's pick. Let's get it over with. Let's let them have this pick. We've got these other first-round picks. We can pick later in the first round, and we can be fine. We've done that before, Siakam. It doesn't matter. So in some ways, the other thing is interesting is that pick that we traded to Utah in that trade, the first-round pick is a late-round pick. Now, this is the cool thing. Those two picks we got from Pacers, the late-round picks, we have to pay them first-round money. So the pick that's actually the Detroit pick, the first pick in the second round, is worth more than the two late first-round picks. You know why? Because and this was explained by Orrin Weisfeld the other day very well. The pay grade for the second round is less than the first round. So if you pick the 31st pick in the draft, the first pick in the second round, it's cheaper than the 29th or the 30th pick. And it's only like one pick off. Since the talent is, negligible how different it is. But the price for what you have to pay the player is very much different. You pay a first round pick more than a second round pick. So that's what they're saying right now. In some ways, the Raptors, this matters to them because of where their first round picks are and their very first pick in the second round are. That those two Pacers picks are the picks that they may trade, or they may keep one of them if they don't keep the San Antonio one. The other thing that the front office has been talking about a lot is flexibility on draft day. That Bobby and Masai are looking forward to being, possible wheeler dealer on draft day. That they have capital and they have different things that are attractive that they, even Bruce Brown, they can put towards teams and move around in the draft or get players or move the draft picks. So they have a lot of flexibility, and they are definitely saying that they may be a team on the draft that is active with deals, is what they're saying. So that's interesting to me too there with that. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, interesting game today. I know I got a little bit off track with the team stats. Let me look at them some more. 14 steals is absolutely phenomenal, Bryce. Absolutely phenomenal. With the 8 blocks too. That's really good defensive stats. You look at the other side, they got 5 steals and 3 blocks. We got 14 steals and 8 blocks. Yeah, that defense was badass. And Scotty with some of those amazing blocks. Scotty blocking people like Bill Russell. Scotty getting over there, grabbing it out of the air and just keeping it. Do that, man. Don't hit it out of bounds. If you can keep the ball in possession, Leo Routins will be your best friend. If you could do this, don't hit it out of bounds. I know Leo said this for decades. We heard Leo Routins talk about this shit in the 90s. He's saying, like, all right, if the shot blocker can actually not hit it all the way out and can just get control of the ball and keep possession, that's way better than hitting out of bounds and giving the possession to the other team. So, Scotty, you've got that kind of talent and athleticism. Let's start grabbing the ball instead of blocking it. Let's just grab it out of the air and grab it and go the other way. Because in some ways, we don't want to just have them inbounds it and continue their possession. Fast break points were much better last night, and it really was the turnovers. And that is really an engine that will help the Raptors against teams. They have to protect their ball. If they don't, we're going to get out and run, and we can beat them. A huge night and day difference in this Rockets game compared to the Rockets game last week where they blew us out in Houston was the points in the paint. In fact, they talked about this after game too. Darko said, we really, really focused on protecting the paint last night because they killed us in Houston. They absolutely destroyed us inside. So we made adjustments. We made more of a commitment to keep them out of the paint, and they were highly successful. They got killed in the paint in the game last week. They scored 80-something points on us in the paint, the Rockets. Well, what happened last night? How many points did the Rockets get in the paint on us last night? 38. That's way better. And we got 56 in the paint. So we were kings of the paint last night in Scotiabank Arena. Very much the opposite of what happened in Houston the week before. They dominated the paint on us. So, yeah, there's a look at the team stats. Jill saying good morning. Isaac Campbell's got a pizza, and he's making a pizza party already. It's too soon, Isaac. We got to get 3. We've only got 2 right now. Shir Khan is here, MVP of Raptors tonight. Chat, always coming in with the best questions. Just one of the most knowledgeable Raptors fans, a real one, a real Raptor freak, one of my favorite guys, Shir Khan. He's saying, good morning, Raptor freak family. There's an argument to be made that the Raptors should have given to Scotty last season, but I still believe this is the right time, and I love the roster moves made at the deadline. Messiah's magic. I don't totally understand your comment. There's an argument to be made that the Raptors should have given to Scotty last season. Okay, I heard some of the talk on Raptors Tonight last night because I did actually watch it. And I've heard some of the rumblings that some of the people are saying that we should have built around Scotty sooner instead of spending so much time with Siakam and Anunoby. Some of it has to do with the timing of Scotty's leap this year. In some ways, this is what Bobby said. Masai and Bobby did not foresee Scotty making such a huge leap this year. In some ways, it's actually really good because they would have had to invest with Siakam or Anunoby or stuff like that. No, Scotty's made it easier for us to say goodbye to those guys because he made such a huge leap this year. In some ways, if he hadn't, it may have been more difficult to figure out what's going on right now and say goodbye to some of our recent guys that we said goodbye to. So it really is that's the kind of stuff. I'm kind of thinking that's what you're trying to talk about here, Shirkan. I don't know if your question's exactly right for me, what I'm saying, but that's what I believe you're talking about. That they could have pulled the trigger on getting rid of Siakam and Anunoby earlier, but I don't think they felt safe doing it yet. And it was the offseason of Scotty's regiment and conditioning and coming back and making the leap this year, almost a most improved player leap, could be the most improved player, honestly. That made it more comfortable for them to do the midseason trades is really that. I think that's what Bobby said the other day. Kev's here. Good to see Kev Rodriguez of Knicks Nation holding it down with the Knicks Nation, a friendly nation to us. We have a Survivor Alliance this year since we've traded players that we both love. Did you like seeing RJ and Emmanuel do good stuff for us against the Rockets last night, Kev? I've enjoyed seeing Precious start for you guys recently. I really love Precious Achua. And I believe in him. He's one of the best defenders in the league. And he's very, very underrated player and very, very good rebounder. I can see that tag team of him at Hartenstein, Wrecking Crew for the Knicks right now. I'm rooting for you guys. I think that some of the moves you guys just made will make you go far. So kick some butt in the playoffs, Kev. Top of the top, fellas. Good morning to you, King. Good to see you, Kev. James is here. Good win yesterday. James is saying also, looking forward to seeing O'Shea and Olynyk play tonight. Yeah, me too, James. I'm totally looking forward to this. I wish I'd gotten to see it last night. I'm not going tonight. I'm not made of money. But, man, I kind of wanted to see his debut last night. But I understand this is strategically better. You're not going to play Kelly Olynyk 2 nights in a row. He's not doing back-to-backs, not at his age, not him coming so soon in the trade. So they made the decision, let's play him against the Cavs. We're probably going to need his size against Mobley and Allen more than we will need him against the Rockets. Something happened to Sengun last night because I was in the arena. I didn't hear what was going on, and in some reason, they did not play him late. Like, it seemed like there was a lot of Jeff Green at the end of the game. In fact, Jeff Green was taking some of the important shots for the Rockets late at the game last night. I'm like, what the hell is going on with them? Like, where's Sengun? Why isn't he out there trying to do stuff against us? Did MA just realize that, like, you know what? Jakob Poeltl's kind of killing Sengun tonight. I can't play him. Was that what happened? I don't know because I didn't hear the broadcast crew talk about him. Did he have an injury? Did he have to go sit? Maybe y'all can tell me in the comments. There was another mystery, and it was Courtney Kirkland. It's very weird. I noticed this in the fourth quarter. I was like, wait a second. There's only 2 refs working the game all of a sudden. I noticed Justin Van Dyne having a way more prominent role near the end of the game with the challenges and getting on the microphone. It's like, wait a second, he's not the crew chief. Where the fuck is Courtney Kirkland? Where did he go? Well, I guess he isn't a cyborg or a robot. He got sick in the middle of the game yesterday, and he did not come back after halftime. I don't know how many of y'all have noticed that we were only reffed by 2 refs for the whole second half. They only had Justin and Brandon out there. And they did the 2-man formation. In fact, I had just seen on the NBA officials' Twitter account them talking about the protocol for when this happens. It's very kind of interesting. They're saying, well, when this happens, when one of the refs gets sick and they cannot finish the game, the 2 refs that are left over have to change and shift the way that they run around the game to catch all the angles. Now, historically, the NBA was refed by 2 refs for many years. It's only been in the last 20 years, I think we've had a 3 ref crew. There were 2 ref crews in the 80s and 90s, I believe. So it's something that a lot of the older refs are used to because they've done it before. Like Leon Wood, he's done two ref games for sure. But it was very telling and interesting. In some ways, I was like, "What the hell happened?" And that they did have something in the recap for the game on the game last night, saying that Courtney Kirkland got sick in the first half and he could not return for the second half. The NBA officials spokesperson saying that. I could tell you when I watched the highlights last night after knowing that, looking at Courtney, he was running real slow and he did not look well. So, yeah, that was an interesting little side note of last night. In some ways, I wonder about this because Ref Report is undefeated. Courtney Kirkland was the one of the 3 refs last night that was anti-Raptors. In some ways, when I said my Ref Report yesterday morning, I said, if there's anybody who's going to screw us over at the end of the game, it's Courtney Kirkland because he's that kind of ref. And Justin Van Dyne, well, he's a former cop. He's annoying. And in fact, don't get it twisted. He was unfair last night. In fact, some of y'all were probably noticing the referees were screwy around those challenges last night. The one challenge is like I was sitting with this guy, this cool dude named Lucas, who's sitting next to me in the crowd. And he's saying that, well, even if they call that challenge, it's stupid because it's out of bounds on them. We get the ball either way. Well, I said, wait a second, Lucas. Don't underestimate the bullshit that the refs can make up to justify giving the Rockets the ball on this challenge by Ime Udoka. Don't underestimate the manufactured bullshit that they can come up with. In fact, they may get reasoning from Secaucus. They're like, well, what do we tell the crowd? Oh, just tell them that it's this and this. It went off Scotty's shin or something like that. Because, like, listen, that play that they challenged, they got the possession and they shouldn't have. Lucas was right. They hit it out of bounds, so it should have been Raptors ball. But somehow, some way, the Rockets held possession in that moment. It's really weird. And then our challenge was unsuccessful later. We did a challenge later near the end. This is all in the last minute of the game. Yeah, Justin Van Dyne, you're a punk, man. Yeah, I can tell you were used to be a cop. Yeah. I mean, in some ways, that ref crew with those 2 guys, they're very punchable faces. Yeah, Brandon Schwab and Justin Van Dyne, very punchable faces. Yeah, but a good win. And in some ways, those were the 2 refs that kind of favor us historically. And Courtney Kirkland wasn't there to do any kind of ref hit job. So, hey, it was weird. It was weird. Noticing when we had only 2 refs, I was like, wait a second, there's only 2 refs out there. Very weird. Very, very weird. Chris is here. Good to see Chris. Great game. Was down at the Scotiabank Arena. Chris was there too. Wasn't that great energy in there, Chris? We were loud. We took care of business. Who knows? We had Monique down there. We had Cool Cat down there. We had Adriana and I. We had Chris down there. Maybe we were all sitting in 4 corners of the arena and yelling at it from all different angles, giving that Raptor Freak energy all around, stereo sound, hitting that court with the good vibes from the crowd, egging on the team to do their best and playing an amazing defense. Yeah, we had a factor last night, Chris. Be proud, my man. Be proud. Yeah, Chris is saying, Lex, the Scotty finish near the rim. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. I'm going to reenact the little emoticon girl. It's a thing. Yeah. No, I love that. Listen, in some ways, that was a breakdown by the Rockets and not boxing out and getting the offensive rebound. In some ways, it was just fantastic awareness of Scotty and just getting it done. Yeah, that was very clutch. In fact, the rumors lately that Scotty is not clutch are stupid because the numbers don't lie. He's one of the best clutch performers in the NBA. It's actually true. And then the other thing about Scotty is he did not score much yesterday. It was kind of annoying. At a certain point in the game, was like, Scotty's only got 4 points. Like, what the hell's going on here? Scotty may not score a bunch, but he got some really key, important baskets. All right, let's do the 5 stars of the game. My number 1 star of the game is the guy who got the interview at the end of the game. It's Jakob Poeltl. And the reason why I give Jakob the number 1 star of the game is kind of because he got 6 blocks, y'all. I got to award somebody who gets 6 blocks. I mean, seriously, that's amazing. 6 blocks, 13 rebounds, 16 points, 7 of 11 from the field. You know what? There's things about Jakob right now that's just so money. It's like if Quickly or Barrett or one of those guys just find him and drop it off to him, well, he's just going up and shooting those little soft baby one-handed shots, baby hooks. and they just going through. He practices them so much. Jakob Poeltl was not trained like normal basketball players. He grew up in Austria. He was not around blue chip, McDonald's All-American trainers, people that would help Scott when he was younger, RJ. No, Jakob Poeltl is a self-taught basketball player. I don't know if anybody knows this. He didn't have nobody teach him. You know what he did? He basically went and took the ball in Austria, and he just kept working and just putting the ball in. And a lot of the way he plays is because he self-taught himself how to play. It's really strange story with him. And in some ways, I can tell all the repetitions of the soft touch with the one-handed shots is his own doing. 16 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 6 blocks, a plus 14, 7 of 11. And he hit both his free throws. That's the other thing. We're loving Jakob making his free throws all of a sudden. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, Jakob, great game, man. And I love seeing you get the interview with Savannah after the game. That's awesome to see you get the interview. And then he's the only one who did a post-game interview too in the back, which is weird. I'm wondering when we're going to get to see more players kind of do post-game, especially after a win. I don't even know who got the chain. If y'all could tell me who got the chain in the chat, I have no idea who got the chain last night. It may be Jakob. Who knows? RJ Barrett's my second star of the game. RJ's just aggressive once again. RJ plays for our city. When they play that song in the fourth quarter, I put on for my city. I put on east side, south side. Yeah, you know that song. That's that hype song at the end of the game. Well, when they play that, it means something to RJ. It does. In some ways, I'm worried about Dylan on the other side going, yeah, it's my city. I put on for my city. No, RJ city. And I even looked at RJ when they played that music, and I'm like, he's feeling it. Like, I can feel he's like getting the energy from it. And he's saying, yeah, I'm back home. I'm playing for my home team, and I'm putting on for my city. Yeah, RJ was awesome. 8 of 12 shooting. This is fantastic. If there's one knock the Knicks fans had, he can't shoot. He shoots so bad. Well, 8 of 12. I'll take that. In some ways, maybe y'all were forcing him to take bad shots because of the arrangement with Randall and Brunson. And well, in our system, we're cultivating easier things for him in the flow of naturalness. As far as like he's cutting, he's moving, he's finding people with passes. He's got Scotty finding him. These guys going, kicking and out, driving and kicking. And he's the guy on the outside. He's getting open 3-point shots with his left-handed, weird, awkward shot. There's a lot of different ways that RJ's shooting right now. There's more natural in the flow of the game. In some ways, I feel like Knicks were like, we need you, RJ, to save us. And they were trying to put him in bad situations, harder for him to score. In some ways, the pressure on RJ is different in Toronto. And in some ways, he's finding his shot and his offense in a more natural flow state of the game. And that's part of the reason why he's 8 of 12. And he shoots so well. 4 of 5 at the free throw line. I love those were important free throws he made late. The important free throws. And he's one of those guys I'm really kind of suspicious of with his free throws so far since he's been a Raptor. Sometimes I worry about him not taking them serious enough and kind of fuck around. But 4 of 5, that's good. 1 of 3 from 3, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 21 points in 36 minutes, a +8 for RJ Barrett. Yeah, fantastic. He's just scoring really well. In fact, the 2 New York guys were the engines for us last night. They were carrying us scoring-wise. Emmanuel Quickly, fantastic, my 3rd star. 9 of 19, 4 of 9 from 3, 3 of 4 at the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 25 points in 38 minutes, a +21, the highest plus-minus on our team last night. Emmanuel Quickly must have been doing something right. He was very active. He was very much trying to look for his own shots. Darko said, I was happy with Emmanuel taking 9 3-point shot attempts, but I wanted him to take 10. So he was actually 1 short of the quota that Darko wanted him to take as far as threes. But yeah, Emmanuel was fantastic. He was dialed in and shooting better than in recent games lately. And I just liked his activity. In some ways, I'm wondering about how happy he is on the Raptors. I'm wondering about what the chances are that he will be a Raptor for next season. I'm pretty sure they're pretty high because we can outbid anybody. He's a restricted free agent, and we will probably get the money ready for him. But in some ways, I wonder, it's like, well, deep down inside, does he really want to be here? That's the only thing I wonder about with Quickly. I'm not worried about RJ, obviously. I'm not worried about Kelly, obviously. Those guys are guys from the city. But in some ways, you got to wonder about Quickly. in his heart being with the Raptors in that same kind of way. Maybe RJ can pull him in and be like, "Yeah, no, stay here with me, man. We're bros. You'll have fun. You get to be a starting point guard here. Just be happy here in Toronto, bro. And we can get you everything you want here too. It may be a little weird, maybe a little different than what you're used to, but listen, you can succeed and have a really good NBA career in Toronto." I'm wondering if that's what's going on with them, talking about that. My other two stars of the game are the rest of the starting lineup. We'll start with Scotty. Scotty shot 4 for 16, but you know what? I can't hate on that. That's not the best shooting. And he didn't score a lot. He only got 13 points, but he got 10 rebounds and 8 assists. So 2 assists shy of a triple double, 2 steals, 2 blocks. In some ways, I debated whether I should put Scott in the top 5 because, in some ways, this is not the kind of game that I'm like, man, you could do better than this. But in some ways, also, it's really efficient. He playing within himself. 6 offensive rebounds is nothing to sneeze at. 5 for 5 at the free throw line. That's nothing to sneeze at. The 0 for 3 from 3 is But otherwise, Scott, it's not like Scotty had a super overwhelmingly good game at all, but he did have a solid, very steady game that contributed and was a really kind of a glue, meet in the middle, kind of like helping everybody from the center of everything kind of game. 8 assists signifies that right there. I don't know. Scotty was fine. We saw a lot of good stuff from him all around. The fifth star is Gary. Even though Gary didn't shoot that well last night, he was fantastic on defense. I'm giving Gary one of the stars for his 4 steals and just how much of a shit disturber he was in that first half with being all over the place, just making headaches for Udoka and the Rockets as far as just disrupting shit. Shit disturber Gary Trent. 4 steals plus 17. He must have been doing something right. He only got 8 points. In some ways, I should not put him in this list. I maybe should have put Bruce Brown, but I really do feel like Gary's contribution to the defense was huge last night. And he did hit a couple of threes, and he got 3 assists and a rebound. So yeah, Gary's my 5th star. I could have put Brown. I could have put him on there, but I didn't. I didn't put Bruce Brown. He was solid, but he wasn't that great either. Too. He was our worst plus minus, by the way. The rest of the guys off the bench, in some ways, it really was the starters who carried us last night. Jonte had a nice 3. He played pretty well. He got a couple of rebounds. He did get burned, too, and looked really green, making rookie mistakes. Grady Dick fitting in his 2 for 5 from the field, 6 points, a rebound, assist, and a steal. Grady was fine. Grady doesn't look like he's a weakness. He looks like he's just out there contributing. And you know what? When those threes go in, man, it is awesome to see Grady do that. So there's my 5 stars of the game. It's the 5 starters. I feel like they did a good job. Even Gary only getting 8 points. The 4 steals were huge for the game. Let's see what else y'all are saying. Shirkan saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. There is an argument. Okay, I think I already read that. It's the same comment. That's weird. Okay, it just flipped up. That's all it is. Kareem saying, might not be a fucking better example of a game for how important Jakob Poeltl is to the Raptors than tonight, doing everything. Yeah, Kareem, I'll agree. Man, in some ways, I'm so happy we've got Kelly now, too. I feel way more comfortable about our 5 spot and the stuff we can do defensively and rebounding against other teams in the league. I still kind of want one more guy with a little bit of beef, maybe like a power forward that's got like a lot of muscle. That may be helpful at this point. Not a true center, but just like maybe somebody like a Precious. That would be nice to have, just for a little bit more depth and size and muscling around up front. But yeah, that was a great game by Poeltl for sure. James is saying Scotty's numbers were better when playing with Pascal. His offense is kind of off. I know this is a weird side effect, James, isn't it? In some ways, you know what it is, James, is a couple of things. He's getting the doubles now instead of Pascal, and that's going to hurt his offensive game. He's got to adjust. This is a normal thing that happens to players when they become the man. When you become the number one focal point for your team on the offensive side, well, the defensive team is going to try and take you away out of it. Siakam, the same thing happened to him when Kawhi left. And the next year, he kind of had to be more the man, and there was a lot more focus on him with doubles. There's a learning curve of how to beat the doubles and triple teams coming to you all of a sudden that changed. And that's the biggest thing right there. Scotty's got way more attention. He's fighting through way more contact. And he's getting way more people coming at him to double. And that's going to hurt his offensive numbers. Now, you couple in the fact that he's a very unselfish player and he's not looking for himself. Then, I mean, a lot of Raptor fans are going to be frustrated about this with him. And some of the derision and criticism of Scotty Barnes recently is not fair. and stupid, honestly. A lot of the fans who are saying Scotty sucks because he's not scoring enough or taking us home at the end of the games really don't know what they're talking about. Because honestly, the thing that Scotty's trying to do is not trying to score a whole lot. The new age NBA fan cares so much about scoring as the only metric for what matters in the NBA. It's really dumb. Scotty cares about winning. He doesn't care about how much he scores. And in some ways, winning to him is distributing and making everybody around him good. And that's what he's doing. And he may not get the points himself, but he's going to get other people points. It's a weird thing. We shouldn't be gauging Scott's stat line by how much he scores. We should be gauging his stat line by how much he stuffs it full of numbers right across the board. You should be looking at the steals, the blocks, the rebounds, the assists, and the threes, and then look at it from that perspective. That's where you will look and see the success. Scotty was 2 assists shy of a triple-double last night. That's a very successful game. His stat line is a stat line that a lot of regular NBA players would kill for on any given night. That's how good he is. Even a bad game, like a 13-point game like last night, in our eyes, it looks bad. It's not. It's not. A lot of people would kill to have a game like he did last night. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Saturday. Lex, hope you and Adriana had a blast. We did. We had a very nice time. We were really close to 4 corners. We were sitting like right next to 4 corners. At one point, I wanted to jump up and maybe get on the screen with him and start dancing. But I was like, nah, I better not. I might hurt myself running up there and trying to dance with 4 corners while he's doing the pre-game warm-up with his music. I did get on Sportsnet, though, after the game. I do this all the time now. And you guys have caught me. I think it was Kareem that saw me on the Sportsnet, and he screen captured it and put it in our Facebook group. Yeah, I get behind Sherman Hamilton on the post game with him and Brad Fay. You can see me behind with the crowd on the way out waving. And well, I was yelling something when I was standing there. I was yelling, "Fire Michael Grange, fire Michael Grange, fire Michael Grange," and they heard me. And I don't know if it went over the broadcast because we're yelling towards the microphones, and Sherman and Brad are talking. And the production crew were standing to the side, and they looked over at me, and they're like, "Whoa, somebody's saying fire Grange over there?" They're like looking over at, and I was laughing. So at least we're getting the word on the street about our campaign to fire Michael Grange from Rogers Sportsnet. Yeah, I was doing some grassroots work right in their face last night. Fire Michael Grange, fire. I could get the little kids to say it with me. They're like, "Who's Michael Grange?" They don't even know. They all kind of did a little bit of shit. What are they saying? Is that getting on the air? Did y'all hear me yell fire Michael Grange on Sportsnet last night? Because I tried to. I tried to use Rogers against itself. Put fire Michael Grange on their own channel. It was awesome. Bryce is saying, I really do think we got an absolute steal in O'Shea. He's a bona fide bucket. He can score in many ways, but mostly shoot, and he fits our timeline. Amazing work our front office did this season. I think that you're right, Bryce. The more I hear about Abaji, I'm really impressed. I like his strength. The things I'm hearing about him, how he can do things defensively or with strength is good. The fact that, obviously the connection to him and Grady's nice, the Kansas connection. But also I think that this is the kind of thing that's like, Olynyk and Abaji on the Jazz, Olynyk's going to get to play a lot and he's going to get to do stuff. But Abaji wasn't really. He was kind of left behind and forgotten. So if he gets any kind of a chance here, he may be very motivated because he wasn't getting chances in Utah. So it'd be very interesting to see how he does with the Raptors and getting a chance now. He may be very hungry. Let's just put it that way. And once again, his familiarity with Masai Ujiri, because Masai Ujiri's best friends with his dad before this kid was even born. That counts for something right there. I'm excited about it too. And I do really feel like our front office has been badass. I mean, casuals and idiots will look at it and they'll be criticizing and saying whatever stupid spin they want to from what happened. But everything I'm seeing, I see 4 very different deals that take care of 4 very different topics. And they're very interesting how they did it too. Very, very interesting. Fiercely saying agreed with Kareem. Jakob is the truth. Our magnificent big. Yeah, he's just awesome. All Jakob wants is just a win. He just wants to play on a winning team and compete. That's all he cares about. That's why he said what he said about coming back to Toronto. And maybe he was a little unsure and unshaky about things, but no, he trusts in Masai. Of course, he trusts in Masai, just like we do. And Masai and Bobby are going to do things with the front office to make things better and have a bright future and make him feel like when I get up out of bed and I suit up for the Raptors and I go down there, bust my ass, get hit and clawed and beat by the other team, trying to fight for rebounds, it's all worth it because we're competing. We're playing. I trust Scotty. I trust RJ. I want to play at a high level. I want to try and win games because that's all Jakob wants to do. He doesn't want to waste years of his life in the NBA playing on a team that's not going to do jack shit. He wants to get out there and try and win. And that's all he cares about. In some ways, it's not about where he wins at what levels. He just wants to win more than he loses. And, in some ways, that's the most important thing to him right there. Yeah, Fiercey's saying she's looking forward to tonight's game. I am, that's for sure. James is saying if we can't get Malik Monk and free agency, let's just hold on to Trent. It's interesting. I've never really heard about Malik Monk tied in with the Raptors in the future. I think Trent is probably going to stay. There's a lot of reasons why I think this. I know that he's very close with Scotty. In some ways, Scotty does have a lot of say on who's going to come and go at this point because he very much is the center of everything. And Gary is obviously somebody he very much loves and values. There's a certain chemistry between them on the court where you see where Scotty kind of draws attention in the lane and he just loves to throw it out to Gary, and Gary's a bucket. I know when we were around Scott on Twitch, the way he talked about Gary Trent being a bucket is really joyful. In some ways, he's like, yeah, I can count on Gary. He's going to make these shots. So if Gary is any help from Scotty staying on this team as far as him advising Bobby and Masai, I really like playing with Gary. He's my friend, and we kind of hit each other. Like I find him on the court, and he gets his big threes. I want him around. If Scotty puts in word for Gary, he probably will get endorsement, and boom, he might still be here. I know from Gary's side, he values being on Toronto. Like he's a real one, just as much as honorable and like Fred and Pascal are towards Toronto's franchise. So is Gary. Gary has a very strong allegiance and affinity for the Toronto Raptors team because as a child, his dad played for us. And when he came to Toronto, it was like the Emerald City. It was like a beautiful, crazy place. And he loved it. He's loved Toronto since he was a little kid. Gary. This is the truth. His dog's name is 6, y'all. Yeah, the number 6 matters to Gary. That's why he's 33. And also the number 6 symbolizes our city, the 6. And there's very, very strong connections to this city with Gary Trent. So don't get it twisted. He's not this mercenary that's looking to go somewhere else. In fact, him opting in on his contract next summer signifies that he values being a Raptor. So that's something people need to keep in mind with Gary's status this summer coming up, that if he can have his choice, he's staying right here. Seriously. I can read right through it with Gary. He's a real one. And he loves Toronto for sure. Malik Monk's an interesting player. I wouldn't hate if he was a Raptor. He's a very good player. But I haven't heard him connected to anything. This is the first time you bringing it up, James. Good to see you, by the way, James. Early in the morning here. Name was saying, Buongiorno, mia bella gente. My good morning, my beautiful people. The beautiful people. Really impressed how they limited Sengun in the paint last night. Yeah. I don't know what they did to him. He had to go away. Like, it was weird. In the first half, Sengun trying to do stuff. I guess MA was like, I'm giving up on you. You're going to the bench. We're going to play Jeff Green. Did he get hurt? I don't understand why he didn't play late. In some ways, they went away from him. It was very weird. Name was saying Fred VanVleet's kids are Raptors fans. That's right. Don't go on Twitter, though, Fred VanVleet Jr. Please don't ever go on Twitter. That's the one thing I will say to Junior. Don't ever go on Twitter. Just don't go there. Seriously, you don't need to go there and see what they're saying about your dad. Those idiots. Yeah. No, Fred VanVleet Jr. is a real one. He's a real one. Born during our championship. He's always going to be a Raptors legend. And he's even more now that we said what we said. It's crazy. Yeah. James is saying, if Trae Young becomes available in the offseason, would you do quickly Grady draft picks for him? No. I don't like Trae Young. Trae Young's the kind of player that will never win a championship. Yeah, I'm just going to say that right now. There's certain types of players. They're great players. Don't get me wrong. They're amazing players. They change the game, but they're just not winning players. It's just like that. Damian Lillard's one of these guys. Yeah, I would never want Damian Lillard or Trae Young on my team. Some people look at me like, you're crazy, Lex. What are you talking about? Those are big-time shot makers. They can take over. They can do so. Yeah, but they also suck at defense. Yeah, they also have other problems with them. No, I would not do that. I would not do that. Little old skinny chicken-headed Trae Young for Grady? No, in some ways I value Grady more than him because he's bigger, he's taller, and he may become like the 6'9" Caruso in the next couple years. You know, there's something things about Grady that are very valuable that we don't totally understand. And damn for sure, I think Emmanuel Quigley's a better player than Trae Young. And so a lot of people say you're crazy, Lex. You're crazy for saying that. Nah. I have a list, James, of players that I would put on the Raptors and players I would not. And Trae Young's on that list I would not want on the Raptors. He's a black hole. He's a dead end. He's never going to win a championship because everything has to center around him, and he's a loser when it comes down to that. You could be maybe a bit player on a superstar team with other superstars, and he's like the third or fourth option, and he's just kind of helping out. Yeah, if there's other guys better on the team, he'll win. But he's not going to win as the number one player on his team. He's not going to win as a franchise player. That's the folly of having him on your team. So, no, I pass on Trae Young. No, sir. No, sir, I would not. Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex and freaks. Boom. Let's fucking go. That's right. That's right, Cowboy. Let's go. Jimmy Pope saying, Grady looks promising. I agree. He's looking real good. Cowboys saying, no to Young. Exactly. Cowboy knows what I'm going to say. Cowboys knows what I'm going to say. That's right. M. Jones is here. Good to see M. Jones returning to the Raptor Freak chat. That's the thing. You don't have to be here every morning like I am. You can come and go as you please. This is a happy, safe space for positive Raptor fans. And you come and see me when you feel like it. M. Jones is saying, sup, Lex and Raptors pack. Must say this. This is the wildest season I can remember. But it looks like Masai did it, man. And in such a short time, we finally have a complete team to move forward with. Bless. I love that, M. Jones. I'm going to give you a dunk, my friend, for coming in with such positivity this morning. Oh, where's my dunk sheet? I didn't even get it up on the screen yet. I need to get it right now. Yeah, you know what? I love what you're saying. I'm not totally sure if he's got it all figured out yet, but we've got a lot of it figured out. There's going to be tweaks. There's going to be changes. There may be a slightly different roster at different points, depending on, maybe at the draft, we're going to do some things. The offseason, obviously, there's going to be free agent signings. So, the cool thing is about this is with the guys cleared out like Anunoby and Siakam, is it really is kind of like a casting couch. It's like, hey, Bruce Brown, come on in. We're going to try you out next to Scotty. We're going to see how you look. We're going to see how you work with Scotty and Grady and the guys that we are invested in and see if you fit in the puzzle. And if you don't, well, we have a team option. We can say bye-bye, and you can go on a free agency. But if we like you, we've already got you on the books for $22 million for next year. So it's like we're trying guys out. Jordan Wara, all these different guys are going to come in. Like these two open roster spots are going to be people that are going to get tried out next to Scott and revolving around Scott's universe as the franchise face of the Raptors. In some ways, with Siakam around or Anunoby around, it's hard to do that with figuring it out because they don't. It's weird because they did fit with Scott, but in some ways they clunked up and took a lot of space and did their own things in certain ways that didn't fit. So having much more fluid scores and guys who can make their own points on their own, like quickly, and RJ has been so fruitful. So fruitful. And I'm excited. I like this new addition. I like how much Canadianism it is, how many Canadians there are all of a sudden. And I'm excited. I'm just excited because we got fun players, very fun players. And quickly, RJ, Kelly Olynyk, Oshai, very, very cool team. Let's see. Name is saying, well, one way away from the mythical pizza party. Why is it mythical? Why is it mythical? Like you don't think it'll ever happen? Why is it mythical? Are we going to some sort of weird Chuck E. Cheese that's in like Atlantis or like Asgard? Are we going to the Asgardian Chuck E. Cheese? You need Mohilnar to get there. Is Hemdale going to open the gate so we can go to this Chuck E. Cheese, the mythical Chuck E. Cheese? Is that what you're talking about? Wayne Strader saying, Yak attack was a solid. We're learning to win games all over again. Wayne, did y'all see Yaka put the ball on the floor last night? That was crazy. Like Yaka put the ball on the floor and dribbled around a guy and went and attacked the basket. I was like, holy crap. Like, what are we doing here? Is Yaka Pirtle going to be this drive guy now? Like, I get so worried when I see a big man like him put the ball on the floor and dribble. But, man, what a crazy attack to the rim last night, that one play where he just took somebody off the dribble and beat them to the rim and slammed it on them. Wow. It's the yak attack for sure, Wayne Strainer. Holy crap. Yeah, Jimmy Pope's saying, laughing my ass off. Trae Young. Trae Young? What? No. No. I don't want no Atlanta Hawks players. No. Maybe Okongwu. I would take him. Maybe Capella. But I don't want DeJounte Murray or Trae Young. Blah, gross. Cowboys saying, can't wait for tonight's game. Maybe you see Abaji and Olynyk. You will. You will. They've already said you will. They held them out to be ready for tonight. In some ways, Darko playing the back-to-back with his personnel to be smart about having fresh guys tonight. So Kelly Olynyk is not tired from playing against the Rockets. He's fresh and ready to go against the Cavs to battle Mobley and Allen tonight. Yeah, that's what we needed, and that's what we did. Very smart coaching job. Darko's brilliant. They had an open gym that came out yesterday. We got to keep on top of everything with the Raptors. That's why the Raptor Freak channel is essential. There's just so much going on. They did the open gym on Darko. It's fantastic. He's a coffee maniac. The whole episode is about, in some ways, about Darko's love for coffee. In fact, we found out yesterday that he's kind of a bad influence. He got assistant coach Ivo Semenovic hooked on coffee. He said, come into this world with me, Ivo, and join me in the coffee world. He said, here, try it. And he's like, Ivo's like, I don't want to try it, Darko. I don't want to try the coffee. He's like, you must try it. He made him try the coffee. And he's like, he got him hooked on coffee. It's like a bad older brother teaching the younger brother bad habits. Smoke the cigarettes. Yeah. It's kind of funny. And someone's like, Darko, you're a bad influence on your assistant coaches, getting them hooked on coffee. What is this, coffee maniac? Apparently, they travel with an espresso machine on the road because of Darko. They like bring it with them and they set it up. And Darko's always hooking it up. He's always on that coffee shit. Always. That man is running on coffee. That man lives a Darryl Armstrong coffee life. I'm telling you, Darryl Armstrong of the Orlando Magic back in the day, that's what he did. He would eat chocolate bars, like dark chocolate, like before the game, Darryl Armstrong, to get a caffeine buzz to pump him up to play better in NBA games. He would drink a cup of coffee, almost a whole pitcher of coffee in halftime. Like seriously, he was doing this shit on purpose. Darryl Armstrong of Fayetteville State University, a place kicker in a football, and then also a basketball player, two-sport player who played for the Orlando Magic in the early 90s. He was a coffee man, and he was drinking coffee at halftime. Well, that's what runs Darko. Now, in that open gym clip is really cool, too. You see him coaching Emmanuel Quickley. He's like teaching Emmanuel how to create space for his jump shot by leaning into a guy and pushing him off and coming back and jumping back and shooting it. It's really cool. In fact, thank you, Jeff. Lancho, or whatever, open gym creator. You're doing a good job, man. If you're hearing me or you're hearing other people talking about it, you're putting out good propaganda that's pro for the Raptors right now. In fact, there's a whole contingency of shitty Raptors fans that hate Darko already. They're dumbasses. They think he's a horrible coach. They think he should be fired. Chris Walder, you dumbass. A bunch of you idiots on Twitter talking shit about Darko. Darko's a badass coach. Go watch Open Gym, motherfuckers. And tell me if you think Darko's a bad coach after you watch the propaganda that Jeff made yesterday. It's fantastic. Thank you, Jeff, that makes Open Gym. Thank you for making the Darko episode yesterday, because that will show people from the inside exactly how much Darko's doing as a coach of our team. He talks about the connections. You see it in the images on the show, the connections of him with different players in different places, him talking to Gary, him close and having a laugh with Scotty, him showing things to different players and them all respecting him, all buying in, all listening to him, showing that he really cares about his players, like that more than just a coach. They're his family. They're his friends. They are people that he very, very much loves. And that should be required viewing for every single Raptor fan who thinks they have an opinion on whether Darko's a good coach or not. Seriously, go watch that Open Gym that dropped yesterday and tell me Darko's a bad fucking coach, idiots. Go watch it. You tell me after you watch that Darko is a horrible coach. The dumbasses that are out there saying this shit because of our win-loss percentage this season. You idiots, you dumbasses. You don't understand how you build culture on an NBA team. That you're going to throw a new coach that just started. He's just starting to establish things. And you say, oh, he's no good. We got to get rid of him right now. You fucking dumbass. You don't want a coaching carousel. Go watch the open gym from yesterday and learn the truth about Darko Rajakovic and how great a coach he is. That we got another young hotshot. We got the other one before, Nick Nurse. And look at who he is now, Rich Paul Clutch, making all that money, working for the Sixers now. Well, we got the next hot shot, the next big name coming up, the next one that everybody's going to want coaching their team in the years to come. Watch, mark my words, I said them today. It's going to have the same kind of status as Nick Nurse in like 3 years from now. He may not have a championship, but he will be just as coveted. Watch, he will be just as coveted. And yeah, everybody who's anti-Darko, watch Open Gym and shut your fucking mouth is what I got to say. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. That's the kind of Open Gym content we need. It's helpful, it's positive, and it paints our team in a positive light, and that is what you need to do. You need to sell the product of the Toronto Raptors. You need to sell it to the public that our coach is good, and you did a good job, Jeff. Home run. Hitting it out of the park. Thank you, Jeff, for doing that. Thank you for doing that. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. M. Jones is saying people don't realize, yes, this is a complete team now. And you're right, Alex. Love seeing the embrace with Fred and Scotty at the end of the game. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with these guys. This manufactured bullshit last year. People see the blank coloring book. They want to paint their own coloring crayons colors in there. No, if the book is has got no color in it, it's just a blank page in the coloring book. Just let it be that. You're trying to fill it in with your own narratives, Raptors fans, with what it is. Just because you don't know, just because it's private, just because they're team and they keep team stuff behind closed doors and relationships, and you're trying to speculate Freddie and Scotty hate each other. Scotty hates Fred because he won't pass him the ball. He's being selfish. No, Freddie was supposed to do that. And if you can't tell, Scotty's just this kind of player that wants to feed other people. In some ways, I'm mad at Scott because he won't shoot more himself. I'm mad at him. I was like, Scotty, shoot more yourself. You're so unselfish. Oh my God, we love you for being so unselfish. It's amazing. But in some ways, I'd love you for you to shoot it a little bit more. At some point, maybe he will. I'm sure he will. At some point, he's going to have a period in his career where he's going to dominate and shoot more than he passes. Oh yeah. But it may be right now, he's more focused on, I'm going to stop the best player on the other side. I'm going to get all my teammates involved, and I'm going to pass the ball around. At some point, though, when he refines his offensive skills, maybe he goes into a regiment this offseason, just like last offseason, and he has a whole bunch of gains on his offensive skill work in the lane with his post-ups and shooting over people and stuff, and we see it even more next year. That's the thing. Scotty does all his leaps in the offseason. That leap that happened this year was from last summer. And, well, if Darko orients him this whole summer with the way the program should be for what skills he should work on, how he can get more like Giannis Antetokounmpo, how he can do this more, better, and this. When he comes back next year, maybe he's more offensive-minded for himself because that is what he was training to do. I don't know. We got to see this. In some ways, the balance of Scotty passing and shooting is going to be a debate that people are going to talk about for the years to come. And I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. So, Scotty was feeding Fred last year, Fred haters. Scotty was purposely getting the ball to Fred because he wanted Fred to shoot. There was no animosity. See, the people that get all bent out of shape about Fred versus Scotty, they're selfish people in their own minds. They feel like there's a very scarce thing. There's only a certain amount of shots. There's only a certain amount of minutes. There's only a certain amount of opportunities in the NBA. They only think that way. They from a scarcity mindset. No, I come from an abundance mindset. And so does Scotty. He understands there's enough for everybody. And he's not like some Scrooge McDuck holding on to the ball and not letting anybody have it and stuff like that. No, he's sharing, he's caring, he's giving it to everybody. And the mindset of the individual that perceives Scotty as not getting the ball enough, well, your selfish takes in your own mind are shaping your perception. It's not Scotty. In Scotty's own head, he loves what he's doing. He wants to share the ball with everybody. In some ways, he doesn't want to take any shots. I bet you Scotty would be happy with a 25 assist game with 0 points, y'all. And y'all would tell him he's a failure if he did that game. Oh, my God. Y'all don't get it. Some of y'all that are score-only people. It's only about scoring. It's only about scoring with y'all. Well, y'all don't see the whole game is what the problem is right there. Yeah. Let's go. Dana saying, good morning, everyone. What a great game last night. Yes, Canadian Dana. So good. So good. Canadian content up. That's right. It's up. Chris is saying a lot of nice tributes last night. It was fun, wasn't it, Chris? That was a great game to go to, wasn't it, Chris? Yeah, I'm glad I went to it. I'll remember it forever. James is saying that Trae Young defender is no good, but the offensive threes are great. Yeah, I don't need that trade off. He's also very undersized. He's a very much a weakness. The trade off with Trae Young, I don't know if it balances out into the positive. The offense, once again, people overvalue his offense and they don't look at the complete player and all the weaknesses he has. He has very, very many weaknesses. And that's why I ain't got nothing to do with him. No, let Atlanta make the mistake of trading Luca to keep Trae Young. Yeah, they're idiots. The Hawks are a bad team. A lot of the decisions that they've made in the front office, all respect the Landry Fields, former Raptors, have been stupid, really dumb. And I don't want any of their players. That's signified by that. Yeah. Name is saying Tom Duke with the Kelly emoji laughing. Let's fucking go. Miss you, buddy. Ain't the same without you, Ducarino. He's around. He's watching us. He just doesn't talk anymore. Nameless. I'm sure he's still watching us. I'm sure he puts it on. He's just not interacting with us. It's fine. I love you, Tommy. Whatever you do, you help me still. It's like, look, I didn't cut you off from powers on this channel because you haven't been here. I haven't done anything. It was just the same as it has been before. And you do as much as you want to around this channel. If you just flip in Kelly's face for Dennis's face, that's fine. We love you, Tom. And if you come back in and you talk to us, you're going to get a hero's welcome. You will. Alley-oop to Tom Duke in his absence. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll give Tommy a dunk right now. Tommy, you're getting your third dunk of the year, and you haven't even talked to us since, I think, October. It's crazy. It's actually pretty crazy. Let's see. Name is saying, throw that down, Dukester. That's right. That's right. Tommy's a legend no matter what. He's not even here. He's a legend. Cowboy saying, good morning, Canadian Dana. Let's go. And don't forget to slam the like button. Slam dunk the like button. Name was saying, all elusive dinner party. I want it so badly. It will be so good for team morale. That's right. Take them to the tower. We're in town for a bit. We got Cavs tonight. We're going to get the Spurs on Monday. We're going to have Pascal on Wednesday. Yeah, we're in town right now. So take them to the tower, baby. That's right. Cowboys saying, you know it, Nameless. James is saying, I'm really excited about RJ. I hope he proves all the haters wrong. Me too. Me too. In some ways, there are levels that he can jump to still. In some ways, I could feel the pain about the All-Star. I think that RJ wants to be an All-Star someday. I think that's very possible. There's certain things about his game that can be elevated and become even more better. He can become a better free throw shooter. He can become a better free point shooter. He can also maybe like direct and hone his offensive skill set to be maybe more efficient in certain ways. I think he's very efficient right now. In fact, I can see the leaps in him since he was a rookie for the Knicks in the last couple of years. I feel like last summer at FIBA World Cup was a very valuable experience for RJ Barrett. In fact, the physicality of the FIBA game with the way they play was very good for his muscling. Like, I feel like this year, the bullying he's doing to go to the basket, like what he's doing, was very much honed at FIBA World Cup last summer. Because I was seeing him doing so much stuff around the basket. I was like, damn, RJ's a bully. And he really is focusing on getting really close to the rim and getting very high percentage shots. I love it. I love it. He's doing it in a Raptors jersey now. It's really, really good. I'm excited too. Very excited. There's our front office on blast from Cowboy, Masai, and Bobby. That's right. The best front office in the league, doing badass things all the time. Stargate saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good win last night. However, I find it funny that people in the post-game spaces shitting on Scotty simply because he's not the one with the most points. I know. That just shows you how dumb the younger fans are. They really do not understand the complete game of basketball. There's not just one category, idiots. Maybe you're parlaying all your fucking scoring bets, but fuck, there's rebounds, there's assists, there's steals, there's blocks, there's threes. And as I said, you want to gauge Scotty on success, look at his overall stat line. And if he's stat stuffed, he's successful. And zips are proud of it. If one stat you want to look at with Scott, you want to gauge whether he's successful or not, just look at whether the team won. That's the only stat that matters. This is something I've said for years right now. Everybody's nitpicky about individual stats. Well, what stat matters the most? The team stat W. That's the only fucking stat that matters, Twitter. So you go ahead and dump all over Scott unnecessarily with your ill-advised, ill-informed, misinformed point of view. You go ahead and you just look stupid. In fact, regular fans that understand the game, when they see you say that, you just out yourself as a casual and somebody who does not understand the game. If you overvalue scoring and dunks and flashiness, like dribbles and all that shit. You don't understand what matters in this game, what wins in this game. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah, idiots, idiots. Nameless is saying Kelly is a real one, Scarborough's finest. I know he's a Chuck Swirsky listener. He's a Scarborough Blue. He's a Raptor fan when he was a child. That's always good, man. Full circle, Kelly Olynyk. Full circle, and he's a real one. That's right. He's a real one. I can't wait to see Abaji. That's right. James is saying we definitely need to resign Kelly to a 3-year extension. Yeah, we can get him on a deal. That'd be fantastic. You know, he's in that age where he's not going to get like huge deal. We get him on a veteran minimum kind of stuff. He's made all of his money. In some ways, he said he just wants to finish career here. You know, we can maybe get him on a deal, and he could be a very valuable backup big for us for the rest of his career. Oh, there's nothing that I hate about that at all. I think that's a fantastic idea, James. Stargate saying at Lex, me too. I used to fall asleep to Storm and Norman as well. Yeah, he's funny. Norm Ruminack. He used to have the post-game call-in show after the games. Love Chuck as well. Onions, baby, onions. Buy a bushel. Laughing my ass off. No, Fan 590 was awesome. I remember that era really well. I just came back to Toronto from graduating at Florida State. And I got my first job back in Toronto at the Air Canada Center when they opened it. And I was staying at my grandmother's temporarily until I got my own apartment downtown. I remember I was sleeping in the basement, and it was right around when Owen Hart died, that when he fell from the ceiling at that WWF pay-per-view. I remember listening to Fan 590 that night. And of course, the Law was on around then, live audio wrestling with that crew, Jeff Merrick and those guys. And I remember that so distinctly, feeling the trauma of Owen Hart's death, listening to the Fan 590 cover it, because I didn't watch the pay-per-view. And I can remember that night hearing the Fan 590 people talking about what happened in Kemper Arena. And it's just so in my head. And that was that period of time. And I would call in the Fan 590 myself. I'd call in there. And I remember when Vince started with the Raptors, I was calling Norm Ruminack's show and telling him that he's going to be as good as Vince. Vince is going to be as good as Michael Jordan. I said that. He's like, caller, are you crazy? He's like, are you crazy, caller? You think that Vince Carter's going to be as good as Michael Jordan? Are you crazy? That's what they said to me. I thought that he could. I've always thought that Vince Carter had more talent than Michael Jordan. It's just that he didn't have that other thing that Michael had that made him such a psycho. In some ways, Vince was always too nice. Vince was too much about popularity contests, wanting everybody to like him. If he had been more like Michael, where I hate everybody and I want to kill everyone, well, Vince Carter could have been the best player ever to play the NBA. It's just he's too nice. That's the biggest flaw in Vince Carter. He's a fucking like politician. He wanted to be friends with everybody in the NBA. He didn't want to have any enemies. Well, he was too nice, too soft, never won a championship. And that's the damn difference right there. Vince Carter was way more talented and athletic than Michael Jordan, but there's just a different ingredient that's missing there. Yeah. That was the thing I didn't know. When I got there, I called Norm Ruminack and said he's going to be better than Jordan. That was because I thought he may have that dog in him. He didn't have it. I was wrong. Name is saying, I would love them to extend Kelly right now before he's even played a game. I will sleep good at night. All things in the right times, Nameless. It'll happen. This is a similar thing to what happened with Thad Young when we traded to get him. You know, he had an expiring contract in the half year that we had, but we had already promised him, we're going to get you back. And we did. We followed through. And Thad Young said, look, the Raptors were so great. I wasn't sure what they were going to do. That's part of the reason why I was like really glad I got traded here, because it was with the intention. When we trade to do something like that, Thad Young or Kelly Olynyk, we have the intention to retain them, even if they're a free agent that summer. It's may have already been agreed upon. You know, they may even know the figures already. You know, that's the way they set it up with Thad. It was already a set up deal. We got Thad. He was a free agent at the end of the year. We turned around and signed him right away, and he was on our team the next year. It was all like guaranteed. It was all in the up and up. They saw eye to eye and they said, yeah, I trust you. We're going to do this. It's a similar thing with Jakob Poeltl last summer. We traded, got Jakob. He was a free agent. He could have burned us. He could have walked and went somewhere else, but he signed with us in the offseason. It's going to be the same thing with Kelly. There's a gentleman's agreement already between Olynyk and our front office that he will be a Raptor next season. Trust me. Watch. It'll happen. There's a gentleman's agreement. Cool Cat saying, "Good morning, Raptor Free Crew. I have always wanted Kelly Olynyk. Ooh, sexy. I am happy, better than late than ever. I went to the game. Fred VanVleet felt the love. Beautiful standing ovation. Yeah, it was fantastic. We were a part of it. We can say we were there to welcome him back. I stood up and clapped. And, Adriana was wearing her Fred VanVleet jersey. Yeah, it was just a beautiful scene. And Freddie really did. He was touched. You could tell it really means a lot to him. In some ways, you got to understand somebody like Fred and his psychology, being an undersized player in basketball, having that horrible message board that he read when he's younger, saying that he'd never amount to anything. He's had so many people not approve of him. So many people kind of say, you can't do it. You're too small. And in some ways, to get the come around, to get to the point of last night where you have a body of work with the city of Toronto on the Raptors for 7 years and all of the accomplishments with our franchise, the G League championship, the All-Star, the most points ever scored by a Raptor in a game, the most assists ever done in a game, the NBA championship. That's accomplishment. And to come full circle, come back and get your kudos, get your standing ovation, to get that redemption that you are loved and that you are a top dog, that you are a badass, and that people approve you as an NBA player and who you are after his path and everything he went through. That draft day where he didn't get called and he invited all those people and was embarrassed. You think about the whole path of Fred VanVleet, and you think about that moment that we gave him last night, and just think about how sweet it is for all the naysayers, all the people that told him it's too small. Well, look, he got a standing ovation last night from us, and he has a body of work. He's a champion. He's a winner, and he beat all the odds. And that's the story I like to tell about that right there. You got to think about the whole context of everything that Fred's went through to get to that point last night. And it's an amazing, beautiful story. It's an amazing, beautiful story. That's for sure. So good. So good. Stargate saying, laugh out loud. One thing was proven last night. Sengun needs Fred. That may be true. That may be very true. That's a good point, Stargate, that he is better out there with him. James is saying our bench is good. We got solid starter players on the bench. Yeah, the bench wasn't even as much of a factor last night as I wanted them to be. In some ways, I was gauging things with Dennis being gone. Dennis Schroeder was really making our bench steady in recent times as the backup point guard. And I was like wondering about how that would go. The bench wasn't really played as much. We were really focused on the starters last night. And in some ways, Bruce Brown was like the only one off the bench that really gave a lot. Grady a little bit. Jordan Wara, not really a good game. And then who's the other person who played off the bench for us last night? Porter. He was okay too, but it was really the starters who carried last night. But I do want to see more depth with the bench. We may need it tonight against Cleveland. We may very much need it tonight against Cleveland. That's for sure. All right, let me see. Oh, man, I love seeing all the new names and all the different names filling it up in the chat today. This is all good, man. Real good. We got a lot to talk about and interesting stuff going on. Yeah, let's see. Cool Cat saying, with our two bigs, one traditional, one stretch five, play and here we come. That's what I want. We've got three bigs, really, because Jonte's in there too, right? And in some ways, him and Kelly are similar in some ways because they're both stretches. And man, the thing I was thinking about it more and more is like Kelly Olynyk, because I saw this during the game last night, was sitting on the bench close to Garrett Temple and the coaches, but then the next person right next to him is Scotty Barnes. And this is the thing. Kelly is going to teach Scotty and Grady. I was thinking about this. He could have a huge influence on Grady Dick also, as far as some of the scrappy, smart, veteran kind of stuff, physical stuff that Kelly Olynyk knows how to do in the NBA. There's certain stuff, like I said yesterday, Kelly's going to be able to teach Scotty how to draw fouls better. That if Scotty's having a hard time getting the whistle from the refs, and Darko said it last night again in the press conference, Scotty's an all-star. He deserves more calls. He could get Kelly to teach him how to do things with his body or over-embellish or do stuff that will get the refs to call the foul more often. Kelly knows how to do this. We know that he knows how to do this. We've seen him do it. So there's a lot of smart things. And some of the stuff he does on defense, like really smart, like heads up foresight and knowing how to get the spot or doing this or that. He can teach that kind of stuff to Scotty and Grady. Oh my gosh. Those guys are Johnny on the spot kind of guys. And if they're telegraphing stuff on the court and Kelly kind of gives them insight on like some of the things the way he sees it over his long career, I'm telling y'all, he can be a huge mentor in the way that can help these guys learn gritty, gutsy, dog kind of crazy shit that Kelly Olynyk does. Like, just imagine just a little more Kelly Olynyk's game in Grady Dick's game. Think about that. Do a mental exercise of thinking about that. It could be very interesting. Let's just put it that way. And obviously, Scotty will be very interesting playing a little bit like Kelly Olynyk also. Oh my gosh, that would be very scary for the league. Very, very scary. Cowboys saying, I was thinking that too, Lex. We probably too good to get the 6 picks. Playoffs, here we come. This is the thing. Fans that are not really good fans are going to complain if we lose that pick. I want to get ready to lose it right now. And the reason why is because I want to win. I don't want to tank for the rest of the year. I don't want to fucking get L's for the rest of the year. I want to go and try and win as many games for the rest of the year. I feel like our team is the same page as me. And in some ways, we're going to have to give a draft pick to Spurs anyway. And if people are saying that this year's draft is whack, it's weak, it sucks, well, let's just go ahead and let the Jakob pick go to them, because then we don't have to deal with it ever again. If we don't and we take the pick this year, well, it's going to roll back in the same situation. We'll go through it next year, and we may lose our pick next year. And next year's draft may be better than this year's draft. So, Brian Winters, maybe Masai and Bobby do need to lose that pick now, because we're going to have to lose one of these first-round picks no matter what. It's just the rules of the deal with Jakob. Now, the bad side of fans are going to say, oh, what a waste. What a horrible thing we did. We got Jakob, and now we're losing this pick. And be like, shut the fuck up. Seriously, we've got a starting center, and we got him, like somebody's going to say in the comments down here, locked in more years on a contract. And in some ways, that's way more worth it than, like I've said, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. And we don't know what that draft pick's going to be. That draft pick could be Anthony Bennett. So give them the pick this year. Let's win right now. Let's get the play in, and let's get Scotty playing experience with Grady Dick and all those guys. That's the smart move to do right now. Win, play to win, and get into the play-in and fucking disrupt some shit. Beat the play-in this year. Don't let no DeMar DeRozan part 2 come up. Take care of your business. No Nick Nurse sabotaging our team. Go in there and win the play-in and get that victory and get that good feeling and get that experience. And forget about our pick. Who cares? Who cares? We're going to have to give it up at some point. Might as well just do it this year in the weak-ass draft year. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, my prediction, we were beating the Pacers on Wednesday. Siakam's defense alone can't stop an entire team. So Cool Cat's basically saying the Pacers have no defense other than Siakam. I'd love to see us beat the Pacers. Oh, yeah. We beat Fred's team last night. Let's beat Siakam's team on Wednesday. I'll be there for that one, too. That's the next game I'm going to, Valentine's Day, with my Valentine. We're going to go down there and have another date night for Valentine's. It's going to be fantastic. We'll say hi to Siakam this time. Yeah, yes, yes, and yes to Cool Cat. Stargate saying, laugh out loud, Sengun was a non-factor against Yak. Looked like Vucevic against Marc Gasol last night. It's kind of cool. You know, everybody's hyping Alperin so much. There was a couple people sitting really close to me that had the turkey flag, and they kept jumping up whenever he did something good. They were very enthusiastic about Turkey and Sengun. No, in some ways, it's very cool that our center that gets so maligned, kind of shit on, and like really doesn't get the respect that he deserves for who he is and what he does. He outplayed Alperin, this like golden boy that everybody's saying is an all-star this year. That in some ways he's like one of the top players from his draft class. That he's an up-and-coming rising star. Well, Jakob Poeltl outplayed him last night. He kicked his ass, honestly. And I'm all about that. That's awesome. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Cowboy saying, I want to see more Jakob dunks tonight. I'm all about that. I like that. Shere Khan saying, to clarify, my comment earlier meant to say, Raptors should have given the keys to the team to lead us in the new era. Got cut off as I was trying to fit in 200 characters here. Sorry. No problem, man. Shere Khan, all allowances. I always want to get y'all's messages clear and correct. And I know there's going to be misspellings and autocorrect and different weird stuff, grammar. I'll try and gloss over it. It's just that I was having a hard time connecting to it. So you were kind of saying the Raps should have given the keys to the team to lead us in the new era before. There's been a bit of this talk around Raptor circles about the timing of when they should have let Scotty take over. I think everything's happened exactly how it should have. I think that they really did need to investigate the possibilities of going forward with Siakam and Anunoby around him. And that everything that Masai said is exactly true. No, Masai and Bobby, when they come out and do press conferences, they're not bullshitting us. They're so open. and they tell us so much. Some people think they're liars, but I don't get it. They're very much an open book, and they're telling us exactly how they feel and think about things. So, they talk very openly about their process and their thinking about how they've dealt with things and the timing. And they really did want to investigate, give these guys a longer time to try and keep it together. When you think about all the interviews in the last year with Raptors players saying, we're just trying to stay together. Well, they were meaning they wanted to keep the roster together instead of blowing it up like they did recently. And when they're saying we're just trying to stay together, it's not that they were fighting with each other behind the scenes and they hated each other and they had to try and work on being okay with each other. No, they're trying to stay together literally, not get traded and bust up the team and rebuild. That's what they kept saying when they said that. And well, they tried. They did their damnedest. In a lot of ways, Scotty wanted to continue to play with Siakam and Anunoby, but well, they had to shift gears and change. And Masai and Bobby held on as long as they could, and they did what they did. They did what they did. I'm not going to second guess anything. In some ways, in your own life, you shouldn't do that either. You can have regrets. You can kind of think about, well, if I'd done this slightly different, my life would be this. Don't do that shit. The best thing for everybody to do in their current life right now in the present moment is to say, you know what? I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I accept exactly everything that's happened before. It may not be totally ideal, what I wanted, but it is what it is. And we can't go back in time, Marty McFly, with a DeLorean and change it. So in some ways, in some ways we could talk about the timing of how they did it, Khan, but it doesn't really matter in the long scheme of things. They did it the way they did it, and hopefully it's going to all work out as far as things. I'm not going to second guess when they pulled the trigger on the rebuild. I'm just going to be like, well, we did it, and we're moving forward. It's a really good trick for people to be happier in their lives, is to accept that your place on your path currently in your life's path is exactly where you're supposed to be right now and not anywhere else. Seriously. If you can do that and accept it, you'll have a lot more contentment in your life. Seriously. We have a lot of angst about regret and thinking, oh, I should have done this differently and this would have happened. Let it go. Let it go and say, you know what? Whatever higher power you look at, whoever you believe in, whatever, if it's Jesus, God, or whatever, this is what it intended for me. And this is where I am, and just accept it. Your life will be so much happier. Seriously. Some people are really hung up on that. Really hung up on that. Fiercely saying, some people say Jakob owns Sengun, hence why he didn't play late. Yeah, go Jakob. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. It's not because he was hurt. See, I thought he got hurt, and I didn't know about it. James, yeah, it's good to have Pirtle on a friendly long-term deal. Yeah, I think it's a good price. $20 million a year for a good center like that is fantastic. And seriously, when Masai said we traded Jakob to get Jakob for one first-round pick, that's crazy good. People that overvalue first-round picks are seeing it the other way. Like, oh my gosh, him for a first-round pick. Yeah, but who the fuck is that first-round pick? Seriously, there's no guarantee on that first-round pick. You could draft somebody like fucking Michael Wakandi or something like that. You could fucking draft the craziest fucking shitty first-round pick, and you have a real center who's already established in the league for almost 10 years. Like, come on. Let's use our heads here. Seriously. Sheer Constant, speaking of Sengun and Whitmore, the Raps caught a break because Cam was shooting the lights out. Sengun wasn't effective against Yak, so they opted to go with Green instead. Scotty's still not getting the calls. Yeah, Darko politicking for him after the game, very much saying refs need to respect him more. He's an all-star and give him the right calls. And Whitmore was interesting. Whitmore coming to Canada for the first time in his entire life. He said that on the Grady Dick podcast last week. I've never been to Canada before. I'm going to come there for the first time when we come there for the game last night. And he came out, he was kicking our ass. He's something else. He's got a chip on his shoulder, but he got hurt. And he couldn't play as much in the second half. That was a break for us. You're right, Shere Khan. Cam Whitmore was a problem. And we needed to find him better and take care of him better. He's somebody we're going to need to really watch out for in the future. I have a feeling that he wants the moniker Raptor Killer around his name. He did it to us last Friday. That's for damn sure. He was going to try and do it again last night. Well, in some ways we caught a break when he got hurt. That's for sure. You're right. James saying Masai needs to draft 3 and D with one of our picks this year. It's a must. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm all about 3 and D players. I feel like if you're going to play in this league and you shoot threes, you better play defense at this point. Everybody should be a 3 and D in the NBA at this point. You just got to be in some ways. Yeah, I don't mind that kind of a pick in one of the picks we got this year. I'm going to guess that we're going to take 2 draft picks. We're not going to take 3. I think that we're going to get rid of one more or make a move on draft day and we'll only have 2 new guys coming in. And Orrin Weisfeld described this once again, and I use this analogy. Everybody wants people to draft like 4 new draft players. It's not smart. In fact, this is what Orrin said. He said, think about Grady Dick. Grady Dick has needed so much attention and so much kind of things to help him in his early development that if you have like 3 other rookies coming in at the same time as him, he gets watered down and he doesn't get that specialized attention that will really help him develop quickly and become the best ultimate player he can be. In some ways, if you bring a bunch of guys in like Oklahoma City or Houston, they're not getting as much doted on or like attention or like just the specialness. In some ways, it's not smart to have like 4 rookies every year. It's smarter to have like 1 or 2. And I think that the Raptors are going to do that. And part of it is the potted plant theory that I have. You have a certain garden space of footage that you can put plants in. Well, it's a roster. You got 17, 18 spots, 3 2 ways, and then the regular roster. Well, there's only certain spots in the garden where you can plant plants. So if you're going to have 4 draft picks, well, what if you only have 2 spots that are opening up for the next year for the rookies to come in? What are those 2 other? They're waste. You can't put those 2 other plants in the garden if there's no place for them. So that's what I say. Anybody who's thinking, oh, we're going to get a whole collection of rookies. No, we're not. Masai and Bobby are consolidating these picks. And they're going to do trades. And then we're going to probably only have 2 rookies next year. I'm going to tell you that right now. We're going to have the first pick in the second round for sure is going to be somebody we draft on that pick. We're not trading that pick. That pick is so valuable. And we're going to use it because the pay scale for the second round is better than the first. We're going to trade. I think we're going to lose the top 6 protected pick. We're going to lose it because we're going to fall out of the top 6, and it's going to end up being like the 8th or 9th or maybe even the 10th or 12th pick, and San Antonio will get it, and we'll keep those last 2 picks we got. The other pick from Indiana, the Siakam deal, that's like 28th or 29th, and the 31st pick, and we'll pick 2 players in those spots, and those will be our 2 rookies for next year. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I'm going to predict right now. We'll see if I'm right. We're going to go for the plan. We're going to lose our protected pick to San Antonio. We're going to take it, and we're going to take 2 players near the turn of the first round into the second round. And those will be the 2 rookies for us next year. And they're going to be good value picks late in the first round and early in the second round. And they're going to be players like Siakam and Koloko. And you'd be like, holy shit, these guys are so good. Koloko's a bust, but it's only because of his health injury. He would have been an amazing player, and he was a fantastic choice for the Raptors to choose Koloko when we drafted him. It's just too bad the medical condition has ruined this. That's the whole thing with him. So you see where we drafted Koloko is very similar to where our draft picks are for this year, and that's what I'm looking at right there. Stargate saying Sengun didn't have no injury. Yak just filmed on him and owned him. Okay, thanks for the info. I didn't know. I was at the game and I just didn't see him playing, so I was wondering. Country Kong saying Lex, it was good to see Fred again. I enjoyed his tribute video more than I thought I would. I was happy the fans gave him the ovation he deserves. He acknowledged it, and I think he appreciated it too. He ate it up. It was a great video too, and it really shows you just how much he did while he was on our team. You can look at the old highlights of him on 905 and how he looked back then and just how different he looks in physical appearance to really understand the passage of time and just how much he matured and became the man who he is today while he was here in our city. And man, I love you, Fred. I always will. You're a GOAT. You are a greatest Raptor of all time. You are a top 5 all-time Raptor. And your number 23 will be retired and be in the Raptors. I'm telling you right now, nobody's going to wear 23 ever again for the Raptors. Nobody's going to wear number 7. Nobody's going to wear number 10. Nobody's going to wear number 23. Nobody's going to wear number 43 either. Those 4 numbers are going in our rafters, y'all. Lowry, DeRozan, Van Vliet, and Siakam. Those 4 Raptors are going up for sure. Chris is saying the team will become clutch, building a winner here. That's the thing. They got the good late game situation, close game. What you got to do on defense, what you got to do on offense, what do you got to do to make sure you win the game? And in some ways, that was really good practice. If not a little scary, letting the Rockets get so close and make it a little nail biter, but also executing and making sure the win came on the right side. And that's an important, good practice to do, is learning how to be clutch and handle late game situations to make sure you win. And that was very important. Mischief saying this has been the most trades in Raptors history. It's true. It's true. Let's get that last play-in spot and upset every team. I love it. Y'all are on the same page with me. We don't want to fucking tank. All these loser fans that want to tank and lose on purpose, fuck that. We want to go for it. We're fully with this. We believe in these guys. We haven't even seen Kelly take the court yet. And we already believe in these guys to get in the play. And my man, the base man, Mischief, I love you, brother. He's also saying Raptors got enough salary cap space to sign Maxey, Claxton, Jalen Smith, Lonnie Walker IV. Not all of them. We got to think about also, we're going to have to maybe throw money at Scott and Emmanuel this summer. So there's going to be, I don't think we're going to get a lot of players. I think we'll get one big, huge name added to the mix this summer with our free agency money. But I think a lot of it will go towards retaining and investing in people like Barnes and Quickly going forward. I mean, there's going to be probably a rookie extension for Scotty that's going to come this summer. That's going to lock him in with us for longer and at the right rate. So we'll have to see how that goes. Him getting the All-Star kind of opens this up now. He's not realistic for all NBA, but getting the All-Star nod actually puts him into the category where he can get a better extension and more money. So we may do Scotty's extension this summer. And that may be very important to do. We got to lock down Barnes. That's for sure. James is saying, I wish we could get Mikal Bridges. He would be a perfect fit with Scotty. Yeah. I mean, anybody would be a perfect fit with him. Scotty can play with any team player in this league. That's why everybody's saying, oh, you can't play with Scotty. It's so stupid. In fact, if Scotty heard somebody saying that and they were supposedly his fans, they'd be like, why are you telling people I can't play with certain people? I can play with anyone. That's actually something I really take pride in, that I can play with any teammate. All you dumbass fans of mine trying to say that Fred couldn't play with me, you're so wrong. Why were you saying that? I wish y'all wouldn't do that. Y'all shut up. If you're my fans, I will tell you to shut up. That's what Scotty would say to these people. Trying to tell people, oh, he can't play with Scotty. Scotty would tell you he can play with anyone. And it would be an insult to him that you told him, you're telling me I can't play with someone? I can play with anyone. I'm the ultimate teammate, motherfucker. You think I can't play with someone? That's right. Bryce is saying RJ brings me comfort, man. I love that dude. He does too, man. Like in some ways, like we felt a little shook, a little gaslit as a nation, the Raptors nation. We're the only Canadian team. We worry about the NBA out to get us. We worry about the refs. But you know what? Having a steady for sure guy and a guy like RJ on our team that is so Toronto, so money, so like he's not going to fuck us over. He's the kind of guy that just like has everything in his heart and the right intentions for our team because, he's a real one. There's a real security in that. There's a real feeling of like, man, it makes me feel better that things are going to be all right. First of all, because he's aggressive and he's very competitive. And he's very fiery and he wants to carry us. And then second, there's just a connection to our city and understanding this. It just hits different than any Raptor ever. I know we've had Canadian Raptors on our team. Corey Joseph, Jamal McGlure, Delano Banton, Chris Boucher. But none of these guys have really shown the pride and the connection so overtly towards our team like RJ has so far. And I feel like Kelly's going to follow suit with them right after him right now. In some ways, that was part of why Bobby went and pulled the trigger on the Kelly Olynyk deal this week, is he saw the really interesting side bonus kind of magic around RJ Barrett coming home to Toronto. He's like, well, let's experiment with this a little bit more. Let's get Olynyk back. Let's see if he has the same effect like RJ's having right now. Well, maybe we are going to start collecting Canadian stars over on this side of the border because it is smart for our team and team building and loyalty and things like that. It's awesome. I love it too, Bryce, so much. Stargate saying, yeah, it seems like ever since Darko made that comment about Scotty after the Laker game, they're not giving him calls. Needs to stop complaining, though. Actually, I think that it's gotten better. I said the other day when we played the game on Wednesday against the Hornets that Scott Foster was giving superstar calls to Scotty. It's like almost like he just got an all-star, right? So he's a brand new all-star. I think Scott Foster was like, well, you're an all-star now, Scotty. I got to give you all-star calls. And I think that immediately Scotty did get a little bit better calls. Now, he didn't get as good calls last night as he did against Charlotte, but he got superstar calls against the Hornets on Wednesday, just so you know. It's going to change slowly but surely. Some of the refs aren't going to get with it. Some of them are going to still disrespect them. Some of it's a case-by-case basis. It's almost like Scott's got to earn the respect of each ref over time, and each one is a different relationship. And some of them are going to like him right away and look out for him, like Tony Brothers. But some of them are going to be like Scott Foster, and you tell him he's cheating, well, he's going to throw you out of the game, and maybe you're going to have a little bit of acrimony. But hey, if you come around and apologize to him, you come around and say, listen, what I said, I didn't mean anything by it. You say, you're a good kid, Scott. I'm going to look out for you a little bit more. All right, Coach Referee Foster, thank you. Thank you. If you can give me any consideration, I would like that. In fact, at one point last night, I saw Scotty politicking with Justin Van Dyne. He went over and talked to him during the timeout. Nobody else was around him. And he talked to him for like a good 2 minutes, explaining things very calmly, not upset, having a discussion with him, a very friendly, on the up and ups discussion about, this is what's happening with me. They're hitting me on the arm. When I come in the lane, I would like it if you guys call me the whistle. And it's like, Justin's like, well, I'll consider this for you, Scotty, next time. I'll keep in mind what you just said. That's all I'm asking for, man. I just want you guys to call it the same way on both ends. And if you see me getting hit, I'd like you to put me on the line, please. All right, I'll think it in consideration. These are the kind of conversations he's having. He's not yelling at them. He's not screaming at them. He's like, oh, like maybe he was before. He's having mature conversations when there's a dead ball and he's not involved in the play where he's missing defensive assignments. He's coming over and talking to him and very maturely talking to him. I saw him talking to Justin, and it seemed like he was getting somewhere with him because, if I'm reading body language and Justin's like nodding his head towards him, he's like, okay, he's listening to him. He's understanding him. He's bringing in the information, considering what he's saying. That's all this guy's got to do to improve the ref relations. He's got to talk to them. He's got to get to know them. He's got to have a relationship with them, and they will call stuff for him. He's going to get to some point where he's going to get calls like LeBron does. Watch. I'm telling you, he will. At some point, he's going to get those. He really will. Let's see. James saying Knicks had 2 ball-dominant players in Brunson and Randall. Here in Toronto, he's the second option. Yeah, that's a big part of the difference. In some ways, Julius Randle and RJ Barrett are too similar. They're both lefties. They both habitate the same areas on the court. And that is a huge reason why RJ did not fit in the Knicks, is because Julius was a top dog and more ahead of him on the hierarchy. And RJ was always going to be in his way. And the same thing could be said for Emmanuel and Jalen Brunson. It's just like, you're not going to be the starter for the Knicks ever. So this is really a good new lease on life for both Barrett and Quickly being on the Raptors. They really weren't going to get anywhere in the Knicks organization because the guys who were already there. Now, if they had traded Randall instead of RJ, he might have fit still with the Knicks, but they value Randall more than RJ, or maybe their contract's harder to deal with Julius. They may still deal Julius, honestly. But yeah, they were too similar and same cohabitation of the same places on the court. And that's why it wasn't working. In some ways, there's a similar problem the Raptors were having on our side with certain people cohabitating in the same areas of court. And the trades recently have helped open that up for us as well. So it's kind of weird. The jigsaw puzzle's fitting so well for the Raptors and the Knicks in that trade with the OG RJ trade. Very, very interesting. Let's see. Jill's saying, yep, IQ has seemed sad lately. I don't know. It's just different. In some ways, it's got to be deflating. You spend your whole career with one team, building them up, and you're starting to see them really take off. And then you get traded right when they're about to take off. And then you're kind of looking in the news and you're seeing this team with OGs like, wow, look at how much they won in January. I was on that team. And sometimes you got to worry about that. But it's like he's balancing two things here. He's balancing team success, which he's missing out on with the Knicks, but with his own personal opportunities for growth and being a starting point guard on the Raptors. In some ways, that personal selfish one should be more important to him right now, as far as he's going to get bigger money and get to be a better player in this league with our opportunity than staying in New York. So he's really got to look at it all like smartly. And I know he is. In some ways, he doesn't want to squander this opportunity, and he probably will be a Raptor next year. But in some ways, I worry about him the most. Like if I say I trust RJ and I know where he's at, in some ways I don't know about Emmanuel, though. In some ways I don't know about him. Stargate saying RJ going left is literally unstoppable. You better force him right, because if you let him go left, it's over for you. Yeah, I love it. And he's so good aggressively finishing. I love that he gets like a dunk at least every game. Like there's always some sort of aggressive finish at the basket every single game he plays, where he's just like coming to like kill somebody. It's like when he throws it down, it's so aggressive and violent. It's like, damn, RJ is like passionate. He's very, very passionate player. Name was saying, don't start that narrative that IQ might not be happy in Toronto, Lex. How can somebody not be happy riding with players like SB, RJ, and who knows who else? That's BS. And I bet he resigns long term. I'm just speculating. I read body language. I read like emotions. I get empathetic. I put myself in their head, and I try and think about, well, what are they thinking from their perspective? And I think what I just said is very much on point with where Emmanuel is, as far as he's looking at the Knicks' success since, and he's kind of like, you know what? I helped build that, and in some ways, I feel like I'm missing out. But also at the same time, I'm getting a very good specific opportunity for myself. And that in some ways is more important for him, I'm sure. That is more important. And I'm not trying to build anything new. This is the kind of talk that's out there already. It's not like I'm originating it. I'm in some ways talking about it so I can diffuse it. And maybe talking through it and understanding it and being fair about it. It's like, well, maybe Emmanuel wasn't totally thrilled about coming to Toronto. Exactly. But in some ways, he's very happy he's with RJ, and he's very happy that he's going to get to be a starter now. So those things matter. I just want to get in his head and kind of see where he's looking from. And I think that's about where it is. Now, if we win way more, he's going to get happier and happier. You'll see more Skipley as he does it. He did it once last night. It was awesome. But I wanted to see it more. I want to see you skipping up and down that court all the time in every game, multiple times, all the time, because we're winning. That's right. Shirkan saying Quick got that skip going on after his clutch three that I did not see him do a lot in New York. I think he likes this young core after the ISO heavy game in New York where the ball flows through only 2 or 3 players. Yeah, I think he's enjoying it. It's refreshing, but the wins aren't coming. And if you see your old team winning, in some ways that could be part of the problem. I'm with you guys. I'm not building any narrative. I'm trying to debunk it and also give fuel to the other side saying he will resign with us. And the opportunities are too good and the money is coming to him too. Mischief saying, agree. James, replace Gary for Mikal Bridges. Well, in some ways, that's not the same pay scale. It's not the same pay chunk. And honestly, if Milbester was here, he'd say, nah, hands off. We've got dibs on Mikal Bridges because he's a Villanova Wildcat. And we have to get our perfect set of Exxon presidential coins. We got to get Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and Thomas Jefferson. We need the whole set. We got Jalen Brunson. We got Josh Hart. We need to get Mikal Bridges. So in some ways, I don't think it's realistic to get Mikal Bridges. In some ways, he's the same player as OG. It's same kind of pay scale, same level of things. And we just wanted OG. We would have just invested in OG and kept him here. So I don't think it's in the cards to get Bridges, just so y'all know. But I could be wrong. Masai may have other ideas and it comes in, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate, and I don't know for sure. We'll see how it goes later on as time passes. Cowboys saying, good morning, Jill. How was pickleball? I still don't know what it is. I'll look it up. Yeah, I'm wondering what it is, too. Do you guys get the pickles out of the jar and you got like little rackets and you hit pickles? How do you hit pickles with jars? I mean, pickles with rackets. Like they don't bounce anywhere. They're not balls. They might go over there or something like that. I don't understand. Pickleball is kind of like racket or badminton, right? That's what I want to think. In some ways, this is like the new shuffleboard. Like there's a lot of older people playing pickleball because it's not too intensive and it's good for physical activity. So this is like the new shuffleboard, is what I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't want to be insulting to pickleball. Jill, you're awesome. And if you enjoy pickleball, that's great. But so does Scott Foster and so does Mark Davis. They're both pickleball enthusiasts too, apparently. Name is saying, tell me to F off with BS takes. It's your turn, hombre. All right, you can tell me to F off with bullshit takes. It's fair. Turnabout is fair play. And in this action, you were right, Nameless. It's not that I'm trying to make a negative take. I'm just looking at all things with eyes wide open and talking about it openly. My conclusion is he will stay with us. We can pay him the most. He's a restricted free agent. So it'd be smart. Unless he just really hates being in Toronto, he'll walk. But otherwise, I think if he's okay and he sees a good direction we're going towards, he will reinvest and be with us this summer, Emmanuel Quickly. But yeah, you know what? You're right. You want me to shut up with my negativity? You are totally fair with this, Nameless. You can do this. If you feel like I'm doing this, guys, you can go ahead and call me out on it. We can. But I want to explain and elaborate because it's not totally what I'm saying is bad. G saying, I think IQ seems more serious lately in that he is their starting point guard and realize the weight of this in a good way. I actually like it. That's an interesting read, G, that he's just taking things more seriously. He's not as happy-go-lucky because the responsibility has increased, that he's a starting point guard and he has more pressure. And in some ways, he doesn't feel like being so smiley happy because he wants to be taken as very serious about what he's doing. I can get behind this. I like this take. Space Cadet saying he shall not be named made a very angry tweet because Matt Devlin and Alvin Williams showed Fred some love. Apparently went on a tirade on his stream too. What a sad, pathetic hater. What a miserable, like, king troll of the trolls. What a dumbass. If anything, like this, once again, the way people react to things that are obviously bona fide, 100% pure, unadulterated, awesome Raptor stuff, like what happened for Fred last night, tells you the true colors of their fandom. The fact that he's upset that we did a tribute for Fred VanVleet last night and Matt Devlin and Alvin Williams said nice things about Fred. Well, maybe you're the wrong thing that's in this whole equation. Robert Pensair, you fucking dumbass. Maybe you're the one who's absolutely the idiot and the fuck up and the dumbass in this. I'm totally with it. I get with the program. I honor Fred. I'm so proud that I went to the game last night and stood and clapped and cheered for him myself in person so he could hear me. That's what a real Raptor fan would say about Fred VanVleet tribute last night if they're a real fan. This guy's hating. This guy's upset. This guy's mad at the voice of the Raptors and a Raptor great, Alvin Williams, for speaking up another Raptor great, Fred VanVleet. This is not a Raptor fan. This is not somebody who's positive for the Raptors. This is not someone who has the right intentions for our team. So fuck Pensair basketball. Tell him to fuck right off. The way he reacts to shit, the way he says shit tells you all you need to know about where his loyalties and what he cares about lies. His only loyalty is to himself and his ego and being right and being saying stupid shit and trying to prove that he's right on stupid shit. He's not right. He's wrong on a lot of shit. And the feud between Freddie and Scotty is the hugest one that he was completely wrong about last year. Dumbass idiot. Yeah. Yeah, I can believe that because he's a fucking idiot who's not a real fan. He's not a fan of the Raptors. He is not a fan. And a behavior like that proves it and should show people. You watch what Space Cadet's talking about and see Robert Pensair act like that. And you'd be like, why the fuck? This guy's not even a Raptor fan the way he's acting. He is not a fan. He's a piece of shit trying to make money off of Raptor fans on YouTube is what he is. That's just the damn truth of it right there. Kareem saying Whitmore's dunk attempt on Scotty should be a clip on ridiculousness. Oh, I'm glad you brought this up. You know, because I was on the end line at that end of the building, I could not see that play from the side. So after the game, I watched it in the highlights and saw, you know what Scotty did? He just stayed very still. If he had moved at all, he would have been called with a foul. But because Whitmore didn't hit him clean, he kind of hit him on the shoulder and bounced off and fell on the ground. It's kind of hilarious, actually. And Scotty didn't move. It was a no call all around. It was one of the weirdest plays. Like, it should have probably been a foul on Scott, but he played it perfectly. He did not move at all. He just stood there. He stood his ground, and Whitmore kind of hit his shoulder and bounced off him and fell on the ground. That was awesome. That was awesome. Perfect call by the refs. It should have been a no call. And, good stuff. We got the ball and went back the other way. Ridiculousness. That's right. I like it. Name is saying IQ has just dealt with a lot of instability in his short tenure. That makes it difficult to adjust. I agree. I mean, I'm reading him in general. I'm not reading him like specific, like this is how he feels about me on the Raptors. It may just be his energy in general about the changes and the upheaval and everything that he's taking it in all of a sudden. You're exactly right. This is what it is part of it here. You're right. I'll take the kernels of parts of it to add to the whole narrative to help with this. And I think that this change and everything, the new teammates, the new city, the new country, it's all very daunting. And it's part of what you read off the energy of IQ. Stargate saying he only got the line 5 times. Really? Wow. The NBA really wants him frustrated enough to know what don't they? Well, Adam, it ain't going to work, sir. Well, let's look at this, Stargate. He got the line 5 times. Barrett got the line 5 times. Quickly got the line 4 times. That's on our side. So that's 5, 5, and 4 for the BBQ. On the other side, we see Jeff Green got the line 5 times. Brooks got to the line 4 times. And Whitmore got to the line 4 times. Now, they're their top 3 guys who got the line. Now, we got net more free throws than them. They shot 16. We shot 19. So we got 3 more. Now, the phenomena of what's happening in the NBA right now is very interesting. They don't have a very good defense in the league at this point with the rules. So what the refs are doing to try and allow teams to have some sort of defense is they're allowing a lot of contact. The NBA is all about swallowing the whistle in the last 2 years. I've noticed. They are allowing so much more contact than usual that usually would have been touch fouls. And people complained there were too many fouls. Well, they're going the opposite way, and they're allowing a lot more contact. And that is part of the effect of why Scotty only getting 5 free throws is because they're swallowing the whistle. That's just in general, the NBA is doing this. A lot of the refs just don't call shit anymore. They're letting a lot go. They're kind of picking and choosing when they do it. And that's part of the reason. Now, free throws are just down in general because of this phenomena. Swallowing the whistle, letting them to play through contact, having contact out there just to a general level. And that's part of it right now. Now, some guys are getting everything, like Embiid and LeBron still. But Scotty's will come down the road. And the fact that he had the most free throws, tied with the most free throws, Jeff Green and RJ Barrett for anybody in the game last night, well, that says something. They weren't putting anybody on the line. They swallowed the whistle. He got the most free throws, 5, but so did Jeff Green, so did RJ. The 3 of them all got 5 free throws. Nobody else got more. So you got to gauge it by who got the most overall. Like if we were playing the Celtics and Scotty got 5 free throws and Jason Tatum got like 16 free throws, yeah, that's glaring. That's a problem right there. That's a problem right there. Let's see. Cowboys saying alley-oop to Lex Grange. Yeah, I said fire Grange. They were like, what are they saying? I wonder if it got on the air, if you could hear me. Paul B saying historic game tonight. First game of the future championship core. There you go. When we had it last night, the historic game, first game. You say because Olenek's going to play maybe. Seymour saying you want to boss up your life. All you got to do is tap in with me. Convincing win. #1 franchise. There you go, Seymour. I like it. Jam Jose. Man, I can't lie. Bruce is good, but I just can't stand him shooting the ball. He's cringe as fuck. I'm going to give you a dunk because that's a real comment. I love it. In some ways, he cringes me too. It's so weird to me because he's such a David and Goliath kind of situation. 6'4" forward. Why do we do this? Seriously, why do we do this? And the thing he was doing last night that was weird to me was he seemed to be getting into the side of the basket and trying to go up over the center and shooting these little short floaters over. And that's exactly what Jam Jose is talking about. Cringe as fuck. Yeah, it's gross and weird, but he made some of them. And it's kind of weird to see. I don't think it's the most efficient kind of way for us to score. And he is so goofy as an undersized player, but plays way bigger than his size. It's just weird. He's weird. In some ways, I'm going to enjoy watching him for the rest of the year because he's going to be on our team for the rest of the year. And I like some of the intangibles on defense and the weird stuff that he does out there. He's a weird player. He's such a weird player. Totally a weird player. Seymour saying Kelly played for the Scarborough Blues. I played for them too, but when practice started being held in Malvern, I dropped out because where I'm from. If you know, you know. Ooh, I don't want to know about that. I'm pretty sure I know what you're alluding to, Seymour. That's cool. So you played for Scarborough Blues too. Y'all saw that picture of him with the little rabbit ears above it. All right, let me do the Instagram stories since we're talking kind of about this. First, we've got RJ Barrett and Dylan Brooks doing the jersey swap after the game. It's so awesome. Saga City. And you know what? I never thought about this. The fact that both of them have the number 9, does that signify the 905? Because I feel like that's what it is. That these guys are wearing 9 in honor of their city, Saga City. And that's why they're number 9. RJ Barrett, number 9, Dylan Brooks. So that's cool. I love seeing those guys trade the jerseys. And honestly, there's so much shit talk. There's so much love. It's so awesome. I'm glad RJ can talk the shit to Dylan now. In some ways, Dylan has been able to talk too much shit about owning our arena in past years. He had not lost in our arena since like 2000 something, 18 or something. It's crazy. The stat was like Dylan Brooks has not lost in Toronto since 2018 or something. Like, well, we got to fix that tonight. And RJ took care of it. He's the king of Toronto again. He got the keys back to the Scotiabank Arena from Dylan Brooks, who took them before. Miles Burns has got some interesting pictures. Black and white. The 905's been on hiatus for a bit. We got to see them come back. Matt Devlin is putting on blast Fisherman's Friend. It'll be Fisherman's Friend for him on game day to keep that voice going during the broadcast. That's right. And he's got a picture of Freddie waving to the crowd. Awesome, awesome picture of Fred. Such a successful return home to say hello and get his tribute. Man, we love you, Fred. And if you don't love Fred VanVleet and you're a Raptor fan, search your feelings and get on the right place. There was a bowling event with the 905 in the last couple of days, and I'm pretty sure our good friend Greg, the Gubstown Clink, was in attendance. I know that Greg's part of the 905 season ticket group club. And if he got the invite to go bowling with Mogi, Maker, and Marquise Noel and them, he went because there's a picture, I think, of Greg on the 905 official account with Mogi and his kids. I think that's Greg in that picture. Y'all can go look at it and see if that's Gubsound Clink. But I'm pretty sure Greg went to this bowling event with the 905 and was hanging out with all them. I'm sure he's got some very interesting stories if that was him about talking to those guys. And I'm always going to be interested to hear what Greg has to say with his 905 interactions because he's always in there. It's very interesting. I'm wondering who it was. Marquise is also saying a person whose decisions are not influenced by fear but are fueled by faith in themselves is a powerful person. That's you, Marquise. I know it is. You're going to come back from your injury, and you're going to kick some major butt. I'm all about it. I love seeing Monique on her Instagram stories saying, game day. Hello, Toronto fans. We'll give Fred VanVleet out for an injury a warm welcome, but hopefully the Raptors will be cold and unfriendly hosts to the Rockets. Would any of us have predicted this current roster in October? Yeah, no, not at all, Monique. The changes have been big. Scotty's got the keys. Lots of love to you guys. Yeah, let's cook. See you tonight. Yeah, and we did, Monique. They got the win just like you wanted. Exactly. Dennis Schroeder putting on blast. 4 in a row wins for Braunschweig in the German league. Yeah, I still talk about Dennis. And Coloco's got some guy who was supposed to stay in China, Corey Smith, but he didn't. He's here. So, yeah, there's your Instagram stories from the Raptors right now. Checking in on them on the social media, seeing what they're saying. Let's see. James is laughing. Vern Block. Yeah. Seymour saying streets and ball don't mix, just for your info. Okay. I figure that's what it was. That, yeah, certain areas you didn't want to go to, certain reasons. Blackhawk saying Sengun needs Fred VanVleet to excel. Yeah, we said that a couple times. James said Malvern used to be bad like a decade ago. Yeah, I guess they cleaned it up a little bit. I think my dad went to Malvern too. Yeah, like way back, like in the 50s. That's how Toronto I am. My father lived in the beaches. That's where he grew up, over on Corley Avenue, over near Kingston Road, and where it meets the whatchamacallit, Woodbine. Kingston Road and Woodbine area over there. That's where my dad grew up in the 50s. Yeah, so I'm very Toronto. And, when he lived over there, he would go to Maple Leaf Gardens when the Leafs were winning Stanley Cups. Yeah, my dad used to go to Leaf games when they were actually a Stanley Cup champion. He also used to go to Maple Leaf Gardens and watch wrestling and see greats like Gene Kaninsky and Whipper Billy Watson. Yeah, lots of history in my family in Toronto. That's for sure. That's right. Let's see. Blackhawks saying Scotty is in point center mode until the team gels more. They're designated him the backup point guard at this point. That's very much what they said. Emmanuel's the starting point guard, but Scotty's going to be the point guard for the bench. That's what they said. I would love, in some ways, I'd love for them to buy out Corey Joseph. I said that before. I was like, if Corey Joseph could be our third point guard just in case, just to help, that would be good for depth. If we're going to fill these roster spots, some people may say, why Corey Joseph, though? Well, he's Team Canada. And in some ways, Corey Joseph and Kelly Olynyk are the two senior vet leaders of the Team Canada team. And you have Corey Joseph back on the Raptors right now. That may be a good thing. Maybe he's done. Maybe he's too old. Maybe he can't play anymore. But in some ways, I would like to solidify the point guard just in case. You got Emmanuel, you got Scotty. Well, let's get Corey just in case, break an emergency. Veteran presence, good guy around. Another Toronto guy. Another Team Canada guy. I think it's a smart move. I think it's a smart pickup. Bobby and Masai, if you go get Kojo and bring him back and don't pay him hardly anything and just bring him back for this half season. Just have him back for just a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see. Seymour saying, I would say victims, but that's the past. Yikes. I don't even want to, the future is friendly. I hope so. Shirkan saying the one good thing about a Rap's position next summer is the flexibility. Like Bobby Masai said, we can buy, sell, or tinker the roster according to the market. They should target Tyus Jones or Nicholas Claxton. Well, I really think that like the move that we made, specifically the Brooklyn move, is going to make us more powerful buyers this summer. In some ways, it's how much money do you have to spend? You can outbid people. And the Raptors are freeing up a whole bunch of money to be able to outbid other teams for possible free agents that could be huge. And that's really what the part of the goal is for right now. That's really interesting is we want to be big time power players this summer with the assets and the ability to do stuff because we have that. And that's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like for this summer. That's the goal. And I don't know, maybe Nicholas Claxton is a part of that plan. Who knows? Seymour saying we got to do a better job at holding the big leads. Well, I would say this: the halftime adjustment by MA was smart. That was a huge factor in it. We didn't score as well in the fourth quarter, and Jakob said we should have been more aggressive in trying to get more points. We only scored 19 points in the fourth quarter. In some ways, that was letting them back in. Yeah, this is stuff we got to get better at for sure. More practice and better outcomes. Maybe we hold them off better. I didn't like how close it got. I would have loved to cruise to a double-digit victory. In fact, I wanted garbage time because maybe Kelly would have gotten in the game. If the game had stayed like a 20, 25 point, 30 point win, maybe the bench would have gotten cleared in and we would have seen Kelly Olynyk and O'Shea's Raptor debut. That's what I was hoping for in the middle of the game with the lead we had, but it didn't happen. They ate it up and they came back. Shirkan saying, we now have a Kansas connection, a Team Canada connection, and a New York one. Continuity is going to be key for the next couple of seasons. All we need now is a bench mob, and we're back in business. 2019 vibes. I love it, Shirkan. I love your positivity. I love your optimism. I'm with you on it. Yeah, those connections have always been strong and important on our team. If we learned anything about the friendship of Lowry and DeRozan, that's a synergy bonus that can have intangible effects on your team. In some ways, Jakob and Pascal's friendship, Scotty's friendship with different people is important. We need him to bond with people like Gary and Grady and Chris and all of his teammates. We need him to have a connection and a feeling of that kind of thing with everybody. And it's easier when they're already familiar. In fact, that's part of the genius of these moves. They're big, huge, monumental, jarring moves for our team. But the guys coming from Toronto, coming back to Toronto, that's easier for them. They have familiarity with the city. They know each other. In fact, Olynyk coming in with RJ already here, it makes it a lot easier right there. Seriously. So in some ways, these are big jarring changes, but they're easier to smooth over and get through because of the connections and relationships people have. Like O'Shea has a connection with Grady. That makes it a lot easier for him. He's like, I got this guy I can trust because this is the dude who came into Kansas after me. And in some ways, he looks up to me and he's family already. I know I can trust Grady Dick because he's my Kansas Jayhawk family. It's really, really smart team building. You get those extra incentives. If you play an RPG and you have like a team you have to build on your role-playing game, you want to have different roles. And if they have connections that can be unraveled, like what's a good game? A Marvel Avengers Alliance is a game on a PlayStation. And you get like all the superheroes from the Marvel world. Well, if you put the Fantastic Four out there together, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and Thing, you get a synergy bonus because they are natural fits together. So if you put Team Canada players together on Toronto, you get a synergy bonus naturally because of time accrued playing together in that program. It's not like Kelly Olynyk and RJ Barrett started playing together last summer. Those two guys have been playing together for a few years now on Team Canada stuff. And that's a very easier thing to ease into with all the changes. Familiarity right there. Yeah. Let's go. Seymour saying Fred has his whole paycheck around his neck last night. See all that ice? Fred VanVleet Jr., you are a hero and you are always forever a Raptor freak. We love you, Fred VanVleet Jr., making your dad watch our games. Yeah, Sheriff's getting dapped. I love it. Seymour's getting dapped back. Let's see. Cowboys saying, I can't wait to see O'Shea. Let's fucking go. Great job, front office. He's going to be a beast under Darko. I love it. I'm all about it. Seymour saying, how Masai knows everybody, dad. Boss moves. That's going to be like a whole thing. Like there should be jokes in that. Like Masai knows all the Nigerian dads. He just does. Like how does he? I don't know. It's Giants of Africa. He's over there. He's meeting all the fathers. He's like, oh, how old's your son? He's like scouting that way. He's like, he's meeting all the dads. As long as he knows the dads, he's got that pipeline connection to all the great talent coming out of Africa. It's the key is the dads. Masai and his dads. Let's see. Cowboys saying yes, yes, and yes. This guy's a fucking genius. That's right. That's right. This is why it pays to have a lot of friends, to have connections, to be a good person, to be popular, to have people like you. Masai's popular. People like him. He knows all the dads. That's right. Let's fucking go, Darko. That's right. Blackhawks got the whole team on blast. Fiercely saying alley oop to Canadian Cowboy. All right, we can do that. Let's give Cowboy an alley oop from Fiercely Salsera. I love it. I love it. I love it. There we go. There you go, Cowboy. Boom goes the dynamite. Yeah, front office, right back at you, darling. You want to give Fiercey one too? All right, one hand washes the other. We're gonna give Fiercey a dunk also. What a reciprocation. I love it. I love it. All right, let's see. Cowboys saying alley oop. That's right. Now, MK's here. Good to see MK. Good morning, Raptor freaks. Let me see it jump. Let me make sure I get back to the spot, and I'll see how far I have to go. I'm loving this new Canadian version of the Raptors. Lex, I owe you an L, but I'm rooting for you to beat the dick pics. Also, does anyone know where to watch women's FIBA? Interesting, interesting, interesting. I'm not totally sure where to see the FIBA. I'm sure if you know where the streaming sites are, you can figure out how to find it on any prominent streaming site. If they have it on cable on any of the Sportsnet or TSN, I'd watch it there. I don't know. I haven't watched any of that women's FIBA that's going on right now. I should probably, but it's so busy with the Raptors and catch 905 is my second thing that I watch. It's a lot. It's a lot of basketball. There's so many games. We have 5 games this past week. For me to watch the women's Team Canada stuff right now, it's just too much. Now I'm keeping track of them and I'm kind of keeping up with them. They're doing very well, but I have no idea where to watch it. I could tell you a couple places. So I got you in the Yahoo Fantasy League, and yeah, I'm going to try and beat JP this week. It's very close right now. I believe I'm up on him as of today, but yesterday he was up on me, and it's very much like an 8-point lead. It's like 552 to 544. So it's very much in play for today and tomorrow. Let's see who wins. Can I beat the undefeated JP's the dick pics fantasy Yahoo fantasy basketball team? We'll see if I can do it. We'll see if I can do it. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, Meredith. I'm gonna try. Fiercely saying we love you and we miss you, Tom Duke. That's right, we do. Kareem saying I want to match Cleveland Cavaliers size tonight and put Kelly in the starting lineup with Jakob, Scotty, Quickly, and RJ. Have Gary come off the bench tonight. Dinner's on Darko tonight, baby. I like your idea, Kareem. I don't know if they'll do it, though. In some ways, they want to not mess with Gary's confidence and keep him out there. In some ways, if there is a problem with their size in this way, I mean, let's think about it this way. You put Jakob on Jared Allen. You put Scotty on Evan Mobley. You put RJ on whoever it's either Strus or Okaro or something like that. And then you have the guards on the guards. You got Emmanuel and Gary on Donovan and Darius. In some ways, we don't need to make that switch for a starting lineup, but I understand why you're saying that. Now, if the size of Allen and Mobley is too much and we need to do that, I would do the quick fix and put Kelly in immediately as the first guy off the bench. In some ways, I would do it that way, but I don't think he's going to start. It's an interesting idea to start Kelly because we're playing a big Cleveland team tonight, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think it'll be the same starting lineup. And if anything, there'll be a quick hook and put Kelly out there quick if we're getting destroyed down low. How about that? I think that may be what it is. Cowboy likes your idea, though. Let's see. New era Raptors. Here we come, NBA. Watch the fuck out. Nameless say, I'm dying to see Kelly at center with Jonte at power forward coming off the bench. And this is switchable. You could say Kelly's the power forward and Jonte's the center. Or you could have those guys out there with Jakob. Just imagine a front court with Jonte, Kelly, and Jakob out there at the same time. It's not actually stupid. It's actually an idea that he could actually do and get away with it because those two guys can play outside and Darko can have Jakob inside. Randolph saying, beloved Raptors freaks, most informative gang. Blessings to all on this game day. A new era of Raptors basketball has begun. Let's go, Raptors. Winning. Blessings to you, Randolph Phillips. We love you. Man, so good, the new era. I love it. I'm very, very enthusiastic about it. Seymour saying, people saying it's weak because the number one candidate ain't American in the draft. Shaking my head. That's another weird bias that people have. Is that really seriously why they're downgrading part of it? Because Alex Sarr is the number one prospect right now? Anyway, will America ever wake up to reality? And he's got the load thing. I'm going to give you a dunk for that because that's creative. It's hilarious. Seymour, you're just awesome, man. Your personality is the best. I'm gonna give you a 3-pointer, actually. That's cool. I like that. That you use that little moat. Let's see. Kareem saying hated KO from Gonzaga to Boston to Miami to Detroit, but something changed when he was on Utah last year. I started to appreciate his game, and obviously FIBA won me over. We both came full circle. Glad to have him home. I know. We've hated him. Kareem and I have both hated Kelly Olynyk. I called him the turncoat Canadian. It's like all the Canadian players in the league, he was the one I hated because I felt like he was such a turncoat with the Heat and the Celtics. And now it's full circle, baby. And Kareem's right there with me. He was on the same path with me. I didn't hate him back at a Gonzaga. I didn't know about him then. But I definitely hated him on the Heat. It's the Heat that made me really hate him. Nameless saying, we got an elite center in the league and we're crying over a draft pick who won't contribute in a meaningful way for 3 or 5 years. I know. It's so stupid. Nameless, you're getting a dunk. You just spoke truth and you just made it sound so dumb when people get upset about that stuff. You are exactly right, my friend, my paisano. You're exactly right. When I read your comment, it sounds so stupid that people get all bent out of shape about that. Cowboy saying, what a crazy year being a Raptors fan. Glad to go through it all with you guys. Let's go. I know. Seriously, I think about how much we've been through just in this season. I'm like, holy crap. I'm so happy that we have this channel. That at least we can go through it and sort it all out and be kind of organized and understanding. Like in some ways, the last 2 years of the Raptors have been so confusing for the casual fan. And I think that's why there's so much idiocy around our fan nation. Is that there's just so much comes in and goings and weirdness and unknowns, weird things with the team synergy and stuff that everyone wants to fill in the blanks. And there's so much bullshit out there. And if you don't pay attention as closely as we do, and you're really looking at it in the way we do, you may get really misguided about what's happening with the Raptors. And in some ways, this is a good touchstone and a good base to just come to and get reality checked about the reality of the Raptors. In some ways, people say, well, no, you guys aren't reality because you all are way too positive. Well, motherfucker, the fan nation needs positive people to trailblaze towards the positive, good stuff happening for the team. If we're all going to be naysayers and chicken littles and sad, cynical fans, well, we'll get what we get. So some of us need to carve out a good future for the Raptors by projecting that. And that's what we're going to do on this channel. Y'all want to project shitty, awful things for the Raptors in your own places? Well, you go ahead. It's a waste of time, and you're just bringing more misery to your life. We're going to do the opposite. And that's what we do on this channel. And we feel like it's worthwhile. You make your own destiny. You want to make a sad, miserable future? Raptor fans will keep thinking that's what's going to happen. We're going to think better, and we're going to see good things coming. That's what I'm hearing in my chat today, that everybody's optimistic about the new era of the Toronto Raptors, and good things are coming. And that's the way we were going to go. We're going forward because we're happy people. We're not miserable fucks. They want to sit and stew and, oh, the Raptors are so bad. I hate Darko. Why is he our coach? Stupid shit like that. Oh, my gosh. Sheer Constant, I made this comment the other day on another video. A 7-12 first-round pick in 2024 is probably going to land us some caliber player as a 14-20 first-round pick, 2025 player. The pick is going to convey anyway, so why not do it early? Exactly. Sheer Khan's picking up on what I'm laying down earlier. We're going to owe a pick to San Antonio no matter what in the next 3 years. We might as well just get it over and done with and get it through it right now. Now, fans in the short term, the impatient fans are going to be like, we failed. We got this pick taken away from us for getting Jakob Poeltl. They're going to get all bent out of shape about it. Well, let's go ahead and get it out of the way. Those idiots, is unintelligent, don't understand things like Sheer Khan does, fans, they can go ahead and be miserable and stupid, like I just said. Sheer Khan understands the intelligence of doing that. Let's go ahead and get it over with. It's going to happen anyway. Let's go ahead and eat it and do it this year. And that, like he said, he sees things better in the next draft for next year than this year. So let's go ahead and eat it now. Stargate saying Kelly was parked next to Garrett on the bench the whole night. I believe Garrett will be staying with the team in some capacity. In my opinion, he's too important, his position in the union, etc. I agree. I think that a casual fan may not understand why Garrett Temple is important to the Raptors, but the people that really pay attention understand that he's like one of the top union reps for the NBA Players Association. He's a lawyer. He's very much a very good person to have around your team. And it was interesting that he was so talking to Kelly and Garrett, very much interacting a lot. And like I said, we kept looking at Kelly over there, and he was smiling. He was very happy to be on the Raptors. Very, very happy. G saying, did we talk about how RJ's playmaking is improving? Some of those passes. I know. You know, one of the things I turned and said to the guy who's sitting next to me, Lucas, was, man, we've got so many passers on our team now. You think about Jakob's passing acumen as a big man. You think about Scotty, obviously, and RJ is too. We have a lot of good passers in different kind of passing kind of ways. And RJ's been fantastic. I think he really enjoys those passes too. Like he really enjoys that kind of little last second pass, and all of a sudden, whoa, misdirection. Somebody else has got it. Name is saying IQ, Scotty, Grady, Richard, and RJ are going to continue to run off of each other. Yeah, rub off on each other. Yeah, yeah, it's all really good. It's really, really good. I like this little clique of guys that are coming together. It's like they kind of have a look to them. They kind of have a feel to them, like Grady, Scotty, RJ, Kelly. These guys have a kind of a vibe to them. It's a little bit different than the old Raptors vibe, and I kind of like it. I really do. Dice X. I think that's how you say it. Matt D stole your Pirtle Power line last night. I have no copyrights on anything. You know, I think that that's just something that would naturally somebody would come to because of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Turtle Power. Teenage Mutant Turtle Power. Teenage Mutant Turtle Power. Austrian with a half dunk. Turtle Power. I don't know. I could try and make a Weird Al version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles song like I just did. But yeah, that's not mine for sure. But I appreciate it, D-Ice. That could be anybody's. I'm waiting to hear him say something about the Freaks. If he says anything about the Freaks come out in the morning, when we know what's going on, that could be our theme song. We could just do Houdini's Freaks come out at night. We're going to call it Freaks come out in the morning. The freaks come out in the morning. Freaks come out. Freaks come out in the morning. 9:30 a.m. Freaks come out in the morning. If I ever get around to making a theme song for this show, it'll be Freaks Come Out in the Morning, sung to the tune of Houdini's Freaks Come Out at Night. Yeah, I think that's just perfect. I think that's just perfect right there. Let's see. Sure Constant, I watched the draft profile for O'Shea, and he looks like we got another 3-and-D player to replace OG, a 6'5", athletic young four-year player with a 6'10" wingspan. Could become our point of attack defense dude for sure. Bobby specifically said this in the press conference after the trade deadline, that the Raptors are actively looking for players that are good, that aren't getting fulfilling what they're doing on teams because they're not in a good spot. Like Emmanuel, exactly. RJ, exactly. O'Shea, exactly. That in some ways they're on teams that didn't get they're not getting the chance. In some ways they're hungry to come and go to somewhere else to do more, like Emmanuel quickly. And this is exactly the same thing with Abaji. Is that in some ways Utah was not giving him chances or opportunities, but we see a real potential there. And in some ways, that's what Bobby and Messiah are looking at when they look around the league. They're looking for guys who are in positions on teams that aren't getting chances that are actually really good. And if they came here, we could unlock them if they get a chance here. And that's really smart GMing. In some ways, you could get a guy in value, a guy that's maybe available partly because the team is like, well, we're not really using him anyway. And boom, all of a sudden we reclaim them and make them into even more than what they've been already in their time in the league. That's exactly what they're doing right now. And it's awesome. Shirkan, I love your description of him. And man, I've been really impressed with the guy too. I like how strong he is. Like you look at his body and he's so strong. Like when we see him play tonight, I want to see him do some very strong things on the court. I have a feeling like he's a 6'5" kind of guard. That's kind of like in the Russell Westbrook kind of strength kind of department of things. That's the interesting thing to me. Name is saying, yeah, MA had enough of Jakob just straight up bullying Sengun. A man picking on a child is what it was. Nameless, I love it. Yeah, in some ways that's true. Man picking on a child. You getting another dunk. You might be on fire if you get a third dunk in a row. You might get on fire. Cowboy saying all-star alley-oop to Shere Khan. Can't wait to see this kid. Yeah, all right, we'll do Shere Khan real quick here. Alley-oop to Shere Khan. He's getting his 9th dunk of 2024 on the Raptor Freak channel. Tonight we get to see our draft pick, hopefully. Which draft pick? What are you talking about? Country Khan saying, Lex, I love how IQ played last night. To me, is so much better when he's being aggressive on offense. His stats suggest he's more of a shooting guard with 25 points and 2 assists. We may still need a point guard. Well, this is part of the very designed fit of Bobby and Masai getting him. He's gonna be our starting point guard, but Scott's gonna be the guy who's the guard, not the guard, the point. He's gonna be the guy who's distributing. Basically, it's on purpose that they got a small point guard that's more of a shooting guard, kind of maxi kind of guy, but he can do assists too. But in reality, it's the fit with Scott being the main distributor and Emmanuel being one of the people that he can throw it to and score. That's the whole thing right there. That's what you're describing right here, JP. And that's what the design of it is. But we do want to see quickly do point guard stuff also and take care of things himself because we need him to do point guard stuff too. But it's agreed. He's a hybrid. And some way he leans more towards shooting guard, and that's the fit with Scotty. That's the fit right there. G saying Spencer's signing with the Lakers, it looks like. Yeah, he went and sat courtside with the Knicks on trade deadline night, and then he flew across the country to LA and sat in the Lakers arena with Rob Pelinka during the game, talking it out. And yeah, he's going to sign with the Lakers. And we knew that that was going to happen. Who cares? Whatever. Yeah. And Cowboys saying, fuck that guy. Yeah, I like that. Nameless saying the Lakers are becoming a retirement community. That happened before too. I thought we were calling them the retirement community a couple of years ago too. I know Monique was saying that. We said retirement community East and West, Miami and the Lakers. Retirement community East, Miami Heat. Retirement community West, Lakers. Yeah, alley-oop to Nameless. Yeah, I will give him you know what? He's on fire. He's officially on fire because he's gotten 3 dunks in a row by being witty. And there you go. You're on fire. NBA Jam fire for Nameless right now. That's right. Shirkan saying, he who shall not be named is a prime example of toxic fandom that has infected modern sports. Every single stream he has a negative subject line. People like him are never happy in life, and it shows. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to collect the positive, happy, optimistic people, and he's going and collecting the opposite. It's like, you go ahead. You can be in the Pensare family if you want. You're probably going to be sad. And in statistics show, sadder people don't live as long. That's just the damn truth. So if you want to live longer in life, come join the Raptor Freak family. Because happy people live longer than miserable fucks, like the Pensare Robert Misovich group. That's what I'm going to say right that right there. Yeah, Shirkan, you're awesome. Stargate saying Lex with the Master Jedi saying, search your feelings, Luke. That's right. I can do some of that. Do not do, just do. Do not try, only do. All that guy. So I'll start talking like Yoda if y'all really want me to. Adriana, what can I say that sounds like Yoda? Do a Yoda impression. Adriana. She's here. She's being really good and trying to stay away. It's afternoon. You can come out here, Adriana. I told you if it's afternoon, you could cut me off. She's got to go. I want to finish up soon. She doesn't hear me. She's not listening. Let's see. All right, tell me a good Yoda saying. What does Yoda say? I no clue have I. No clue have I. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Stargate saying I used to live near the beaches as well on Coxwell. Yeah, that was one of my old apartments. I lived at Upper Girard in Coxwell for a while. I lived over there for maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. I lived over there. I don't live that far from there right now either. But yeah, I'm in that neighborhood, the east side of Toronto right now. Yeah, Shirkan saying Raps are going to be close to 60 million under the cap before picking up Brown's team options. So yeah, we can outbid teams like Houston did with Fred and Brooks. Maybe a sign and trade for a good player from a bad team. The flexibility, the opportunities that may come up with the disgruntled superstars that don't like being on their team, Kawhi, Dame Lillard, Kevin Durant. These are the kind of things that Masai's looking at just to be ready in case. Maybe he knows something about SGA we don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cool Cat saying Fred Jr., our championship baby forever, a Raptor, knows all the players and makes Fred watch games every day. He's so awesome, isn't he? Cool Cat, I'm going to give you a 3-pointer for saying that in your own words. I love it. I love that so much, Cool Cat. Don't you love that too? Oh, my gosh. Cool Cat, oh yeah, there you are. I was about to say you got to be on this list. Where is Cool Cat? It's with a C. That's why. All right, let's see. Stargate saying my Nigerian friend just told me the name is pronounced Oshi, Ochi, Ochi. Like instead of OG, it's Ochi. Okay, Ochi, Ochi. All right, this is good. I'm gonna go by this because this seems like it's right. Ochi. Name is saying I love Africa, man. Largest collection of wildlife on the entire world. Newsflash, we are all things. Duality is an illusion. Woo! Yeah, it's true. Perception will shape your world. I love Africa too. Like I think it's really interesting how big it is. And people think it's so like not as big as it is because the maps don't show it correctly. Now, I've seen maps recently where they fit the US and all most of Europe inside of it. India too. It's crazy. Africa is a very large continent, and there's a lot more to it than people actually realize. Oshi, Oshi, Ochi, 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 like Oji, Ochi. Okay, I'm gonna say Ochi, Ochi. All right, I got it. I got it. I think I got it. Ochi. Infamous saying, salute freaks. How can anyone be mad about a tribute to a great Raptor such as Fred? I know. Everything he got was earned, not given. G League and NBA champion. Side note, win tonight. Dinner is on the way. That's right. Let's get that Darko dinner tonight. Yeah, I don't understand this either, Infamous. How the fuck can you be mad? You just must be a hater. You must be a hater. You're just a hater. If you can, you're hating on Fred like that. Stargate saying Grady had some nice passes as well last night. He did one in transition to Bruce that was real nice. Yeah, he's got a lot more to him than I realized, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You keep going, Grady. You're probably even more confident than ever now that your Jayhawk friend is here. Yeah. Cut off. Thank you. Jill saying, hi, Cowboy. I used to live on Coxwell. I also lived on Main Street. Me. Yeah. I mean, I guess we're all East Toronto people in some ways. There you go. Nameless is saying, laugh out loud. That was a great Yoda voice. Alley oop the legs. You like my Yoda? Yeah. All right. I do impressions. Come on, y'all. Give me one impression before I finish here. Just somebody either give me a song to sing because I'm happy and I'm so happy about what's happening with the Raptors right now. I want to sing a song of joy or do a funny impression for you guys, just real quick. You just write one in. Anybody, just write one in right now and I'll do it. Hi, Jill. Shir Khan saying, great stream yet again. Hit the like button, folks, on the way out. Have a wonderful Saturday, guys. Thank you, Shir Khan. You're a big part of it. Honestly, you help me a lot with your comments. Always astute, always on point, very intelligent, knows his stuff, a real Raptors fan with the right stuff in his heart for the Raptors. Shir Khan, I applaud you as always. Raptor Freak Rookie of the Year last year. Amazing guy. Jill Sin, told you Lexathon. We're almost done. I'm almost here. You want me to sing that song every time. I'll sing just the one line of it, and I'll do it for Adriana also because she's in the other room. Now I had the time of my life because I went to the Fred VanVleet tribute game. Yes, I swear it's the truth. Him and Scotty ain't got no beef. All right, Nameless wants I'm so excited. All right. Ooh. Dun 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 dun. Ooh, I want to hold you, squeeze you, wrap my arms around you, want to feel you, tease you. I'm gonna go. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I know. The Raptors gonna win. Raptors gonna win. Yeah. All right, let's do the recap and get out of here. Just a little bit late. All right, let's see. Real quick. Injuries for today. Ty Jerome is out for the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's it. They got all their guys back. They're like only lost twice in the year of 2024. And one of those times was to us. So let's give them their third loss of 2024 and beat them again. Marquise Noel is the only list on our injury report. So both teams very healthy. The referees tonight all favor the Toronto Raptors statistically. Mark Lindsay, the family guy, is the crew chief. Mitchell Irvin, Drake lover, is the second ref. And Leon Wood, former NBA player, drafted right around Michael Jordan got drafted in that draft, is the third ref. Yeah, that's that. And let me just make sure I got everything else. We did the Instagram stories. We did the recap. My 5 stars of the game for last night against the Houston Rockets was Jaka Pirtle, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Scotty Barnes, and Gary Trent Jr. Yeah. And there was country music in the locker room last night. Bruce Brown playing the country music. I got on Sportsnet last night after the game. If you watch any of the highlights afterwards, maybe you'll hear me yelling, fire Michael Grange on Rogers Sportsnet last night. I was trying my best, guys. If you have a Yahoo fantasy team, please set it up and play. That's what David's telling me to tell y'all. So do it. Wayne said, I saw Lexicon pushing away the little kid last night, interrupting Brad Fay. I didn't mean to. I didn't push no kid. He's just there right there next to me. Maybe I jumped in front of him and it looked like I was pushing him, but I wasn't pushing him. You saw me on Sportsnet though. That's hilarious, man. That is hilarious. Let's see. Jill saying, good, Lex. Is Fiercey here so we can decide on a date to meet you guys? I don't know. We haven't really talked about this yet. Jill, if you're coming to Toronto, you want to do one, we'll get one going. I know you don't live here anymore, right? So if you make the effort to come to Toronto, we'll make a meet and greet with you. All right, we will. Sing a song from karaoke. Believe. You want me to sing one of the songs I sang at karaoke? Oh, Don't Stop Believing, because I sang that. Oh my gosh, that's a Range song. That's Steve Perry, Mischief. Holy crap! I will do that. I can do it, but I don't want to break anybody's eardrum. All right, let me see where do I want to come in on that song? Because like there's so many different places I could sing it, and I don't have the lyrics with me. So in some ways, I may sing a messed up lyric version. I'm just gonna do the big part. All right, and that's it. And I may do a little bit of a sound part at the end of it. All right. All right. Let me see. All right. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. We stop believing. Oh. I don't want to hold the mic too close to me. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Oh, don't stop believing. It's hard to sing Steve Perry. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm crazy. I'll do Axl Rose. I'll do Freddie Mercury. I'll do Robert Plant. No, those are hard people to sing. Seriously. And I'm crazy. I'll try and do it. I'll do Bono. I'll do those high notes on one, but it's not the same. You gotta carry each other. I'll do those high notes that Bono does too. I mean, I'm crazy. I don't know. I have a false falsetto. That's what I like to call it. A false falsetto. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. Jill saying Kenrick will come from London. He said, dude, if Kenrick's gonna come from, I gotta give him the Trevor J trophy still. It's here still. That's the thing. Y'all are gonna show up to meet and greets, and I'll give everybody their prizes. Like Kareem's gonna get his dunk championship prize, and I'll give Kenrick his Trevor J trophy. Finally, yeah, if Kenrick's gonna come, we'll do it. We'll do it. Cowboys saying, yeah, hurry up. Make sure you bring Isaac the ganja. Yeah, Isaac Campbell's got to come back and refill our ganjas. They would say Lex and Pirtle both beating up all those little kids last night. Yeah, I wasn't trying to, if it looked like that on Rogers Sport, now I wasn't trying to make it look like that. That kid was fine. It was no problem. His dad probably would get mad at me if I hit him. No, I didn't do that. It just looked like I was encroaching on him. I came in front of him. I was just blocking him out is what it was doing. It's all good, Wayne. It's pretty funny, actually. It's pretty funny. Those Rogers people looked like they wanted to maybe come talk to me, though, when I said fire Grange. They were like, give me evil eyes. Like, what? Why is that guy not like Grange? I was like, fire Grange, fire Grange. I was yelling that. I should have got the kids to join in with me. I should have. Seriously. All right, later, guys. Have a great day. Thank you, Cowboy. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Nameless. Thank you, Shir Khan. Thank you, everybody who was here today on the chat. We'll be back tomorrow reacting to what happens against the Cavs tonight. I'll say this real quick. Thank you for watching. And now it's time for your main event marquee matchup. Tonight, this main event marquee matchup at the Scotiabank Arena. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers visiting the Toronto Raptors. And in this corner for the Cleveland Cavaliers, we have a fake ass, somebody they thought was a rookie of the year a couple years ago. They were wrong. It was like kind of a over embellished defensive prowess since he's next to a guy with a huge afro named Jared Allen. Evan Mobley. Yeah, in this corner we have Evan Mobley. And in this corner we have number 4 from Florida State, West Palm Beach's own, Scotty Barnes, all-star, rookie of the year, against Evan Mobley. And today our contest is a LinkedIn resume contest. We're going to put these resumes up on the projection on the wall, and we're going to see who has the better resume. Is it Evan Mobley or is Scotty Barnes? I think we know the answer to this one already. It's over. It's over, Vince Carter. It's over. We know who wins this one. The resume battle. of Mobley versus Barnes. Yeah, Cleveland fans, come tell me how Evan Mobley's better than Scotty all of a sudden. Come on, come tell me, please. Come tell me your little fan fiction, your little fairy tales about how Evan Mobley's better than Scotty Barnes. Okay, you go ahead and tell me. Yeah, I need a joke this morning. You come tell me how Evan Mobley's better than him. Yeah, you tell me. Yeah, all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Only when Canadian Dana is there. Okay, cool. Yeah, the arena smell like ganja. I did after I left. Yeah, I smoked it up real nice when I walked out. Yeah, I had my Jean guy. I had that. Yeah, I was smoking my weed when I came out for sure. Yeah, I did that Canadian Dana thing for sure. No, Cowboy, you know I do it too there. Yeah, later, darling. Nice hanging out today. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. I'll say the same. All right, I love y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you want to join, you can join. Membership has its privileges. I appreciate y'all. Keep being the positive Raptor fans that y'all are. I love y'all. Thank you. And we're going to make this future good with our Canadian Raptors and our young Scott Wayne Barnes. Let's go, Darko. And let's get that Darko dinner. Let's get that dinner tonight, Raptors. Don't fuck around. Get your dinner. Get your dinner. You're hungry. You're hungry. So beat the Cavs. That's what I got to say.